Well, hey everybody, how you doing today? Really excited. It is 3.17. There was a patch today, so we will go ahead and get started. Without further ado. And so, hey, it's a little bit sunny here in northern Michigan today. Still pretty cold out there, but I have spared some of the gory details of what I've been up to here at the first part of what we were doing today. And here I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. I'll go ahead and jump out of my seat. I actually have flown around the verse, and not too many different places, over to HURL1 and HURL2. And I have gotten us really nicely loaded up. If you take a look in the vehicles here, I have some Boremax, I have some Sabirs, I have some Optimaxes, and I have some Waveshift. So I have really 4 of the really nice mining gadgets, on board the vehicle now. I'm actually going to take one of these, now that I think about it, and throw one of these on. I think I'm going to throw a Waveshift on my back. So I'm going to have one on there. And, yeah, let me just take a look and see if I got that guy on there. I think I do. Yeah, she's right there. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started today. Andreas, how are you today? Nice to see you. So, yeah, I'm really excited. We're going to go over to Lyria and monkey around with these. Chris, how you doing today, Chris? Nice to see you. We're back at it, Chris. Our little detour in trading last night actually wasn't too bad. I enjoyed the trading last night. Made a couple of 100,000 AUEC, which was kind of a nice little instant thing. But, with them dropping the new patch today, I really want to kind of keep pressing the gas on testing these mining gadgets and just kind of learning the meta. Now, I have heard there's some scanning stuff going on, and we'll have to kind of fight our way through that. We are on the PTU tonight, so you never know what's going to happen. Andrea says, hi, I just killed myself by running to my ship without a helmet. What a start. Yeah, I've done that a million times. Yeah, Chris says he's good. That's awesome, Chris. Yeah, so I thought we would just kind of really have some fun tonight. I was really hoping they would drop a patch last night, but we decided to do a little trading, and this week I have really decided to kind of dig in and do quite a bit of streaming if I can. Amos Black, how are you doing, Amos? Good to see you. So yeah, we're in the PTU tonight. We're going to monkey around with mining gadgets, and we're going to specifically stack multiple gadgets. So we're probably going to run back in and out of the Prospector once or twice, because you can't put one in your backpack, even though I don't have a backpack on. And you can't, it doesn't matter. None of the mining gadgets fit in the backpack, so you can't bring an extra one with you. You kind of have to run back and forth. But we are going to stack multiple mining gadgets onto one rock and just kind of have a little fun with that tonight and see how it goes. And hopefully rocks are scanning. Hey, there's more of it. How are you, sir? How have you been? Nice to see you. Yeah, so that's us tonight. We're testing the PTU. We're monkeying around with mining gadgets, having a little fun, and I'm really excited about it. So we'll go head over to our old friend Lyria and see if we can't find a couple of rocks to stick some of these mining gadgets on. And honestly, anything that's up over 6,000 mass is really going to be kind of in our wheelhouse. I'd like to put a Waveshift on something that's around 6,500 with a decent percentage. And I also, like I said, I'd like to stack, maybe put 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 different mining gadgets on one rock. And, it's probably not going to be the best use case, but we're just going to have a little fun tonight with that. And so, yeah, I'm doing really good, man. Thanks for asking. Toe Cutter says, fits in the heavy armor backpack. Oh, I didn't know, Toe. I thought I had read that they weren't fitting in any backpacks. Well, I am. That's a good thing to know. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Yeah, I thought I had read that they wouldn't fit in any backpack, so I'm really excited about that. I didn't bring a backpack with me, so I will be kind of running around a little bit, but no big deal there. We'll enjoy it nonetheless. Amos says, I'm good. I still need to start learning for the exam tomorrow, but yeah, how are you? I've definitely been that guy before, Amos, who's put off studying a little bit here and there. That's for sure. I've been that guy before. And, I can honestly say, nothing wrong with it. Hey, there he is. How you doing, Brett? Good to see you, sir. Thought we'd mess around in the PTU, test the mining gadgets. So kind of doing a little bit of testing here on, in the funny build. We'll have to kind of see how things go. And I have ran around. I went over to HURL2 and picked up some the Waveshifts and the Optimaxes are there. The other ones, the Boremax and the Sabirs, are on ArcL1. So I ran around. I definitely grabbed everything that we need for today's kind of adventure, and we'll see how it goes. So Morvip says, when you are the first like a stream flashes colors. Interesting. Yeah. You know what? You were the first like. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Those likes and subs, are always really helpful. That's for sure. And Brett, it's good to see you, Brett. I know. I will say, Brett, I'm hoping you and I can catch up soon and maybe do a stream here together. Brett and I. That Brett is for everybody, and him and I, of course, do a lot of these together, and hopefully we'll be able to do one soon. So Andrea says, I am mad at Lyria. Didn't give me any usable rocks, and one good rock just broke mostly underground. I'll cheat on Lyria with the Halo. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I can appreciate that. Now, yeah, we'll have to kind of see what's going on with scannable rocks here. I definitely have heard that there's kind of an interesting thing. Now, the one thing I noticed the last time I went over to Lyria is you really have to be almost right over top of the rocks in 3.17 for them to actually make rock icons. So you really have to get quite close to them. That's the way it was before, and yep, you can see how close you have to get before you can tell us if it's a single or a doubler or whatever. Now, of course, obviously, if you'll get the white flash of kind of like that proximity flash or whatever. But yeah, it's one of those things. There's no it's a little bit different. The meta's changed just a little bit. So, yeah, there's a single, and we'll just kind of pivot our way towards the sun, like we like to do, kind of keep the sun out in front of us at our 12 o'clock, off our nose a little bit, and we're going to kind of start pinging a little bit, and I'll probably rain this into the old 179 degrees. Now, a couple of things. This is my second time on the PTU, and I can tell you, both times the altimeter is like at 118, like everything's 118, which is funny to me. But I will tell you, the clarity on the Prospector UI is really, really good. Andrea says, had a bunch of quant clusters that didn't show up until I went into mining mode for some reason. Andrea, somebody else mentioned that to me the other day. That was kind of one of their experiences is, like in the Halo, the clusters wouldn't actually kind of allow you to get the scan results until you went into mining mode. Now, last time I was in the Halo, I monkeyed with that, and it didn't make any difference to me. Dead rocks were dead rocks. But you're not the only person who's reported that on the channel, so I thought I'd just let you know that. One of the things, notice the boost, you guys. I'm holding down boost 92, 91, 90, 89. The boost has changed significantly on the Prospector in 3.17. It used to be like, well, in 3.16, and I just did it just the other day. I mean, when you boost, it's like 3 seconds, all your boost is gone. It's not like that anymore. And that's another thing that's kind of cool about the Prospector changes or whatever. Kyle Treedeer. Kyle, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel. How are you? Is it safe to use refineries in the PU right now, or should I wait until 3.17? Well, it's hard to say when 3.17 is going to drop. If you are going to use the refinery, Kyle, I would say do one of the very fast jobs, like probably fair on exchange. But understand it is a gamble, and for some reason they may certainly sneak it in. But I have a feeling that it's now that I've really looked pretty closely at the problems that they're facing, it would be hard to believe that they'd have those all solved by the end of the week. But you never know what their intentions are. So it's a great question. I myself am not putting a lot of jobs into the refineries, and if I am, I'm doing it really fast. But the other thing you can always do is the ore sales, which is, you know, you don't make nearly as much money. It's not, you don't get to complete the second part of the loop, right? But you can always just sell your stuff outright with the ore sales. So, yeah, Andrea says, nice. I stop in a Halo on my usual spot, give one ping, and find a 5134. Nice job. Cheating pays off. Archer! How you doing, Archer? Archer's caught me now the second time on the PTU after we talked about not going into the PTU. How you doing, Archer? Nice to see you. How you been? Ninja Snack, what up? Kapow! What up, Ninja? How you doing, man? Hey, Sambone, how are you today? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. That's awesome. So I haven't found any doublers yet. Everything that I've found so far has been singles. You know, so we haven't had any opportunities per se. Soren, nice to see you. How have you been? It's good to see you for sure. So, you know, we are on the, you know, we're in the PTU today. We've got all sorts of different mining gadgets, you guys. I've got Boremax, I've got Waveshifts, I've got a Sabir, I've got the Optimax, and I am trying to see if we can find some rocks that put multiple, like 2 or 3 mining gadgets on, just for funsies. You know, I guess is really, you know, I don't know that the use cases you're going to want to stick a bunch of those on one rock. But you know what? We're going to do it anyways and have a little fun. Archer's says that he's been mainly doing bunker runs. No mining until 3.17. I can understand why. I mean, I definitely am a little, you know, I haven't been doing as much mining myself in the PU. It kind of gets into that state where you're kind of like, I don't want to put a bunch in the hopper and lose it. Last night I actually did some trading, which was, you know, in about maybe 2 hours. I was making about 100,000 an hour doing layer night trading, which isn't great money, but it was money that ended up in my pocket at the end of the night, you know. So didn't mind doing that. That was kind of fun. It's not something I normally do on the old Quantanium and coffee. With, you know, no Quantanium, some trading, but you know, we enjoyed it. Mauricio, how are you, Mauricio? Nice to see you. How are you? Mauricio says, hi, how are you? I had a lot of server disconnects today. Seems a 3.17 is getting close. Definitely, you know, it is funny how the PU is, you know, I don't know if there's just a server environment. Those you would think are doublers, and they might, oh, they are. I could actually got a visual on them as I was flying by. Notice they weren't on my scanner. I just kind of flew over those. It's kind of something I've noticed a couple times. I'll hit boost and we'll kind of pivot back over to those doublers and take a look at them. But yeah, Mauricio, it is funny how you can tell when the PTUs are happening, because the PUs just aren't as stable. It is kind of weird. It's like I don't know. It seems like if it was in like the Gov Cloud or like an AWS environment, there would be elasticity there. But I don't know. You know, you have to wonder. So here we go. We're pulling out the old mining laser, and we're going to take a look at these. So this is good. We actually are getting some scans. This is a 74. Look how clean the UI is, you guys. I mean, that is way cleaner than it used to be. 7488 at a 2%. So we're not going to monkey around with that one. We are looking for high percentage rocks. This is going to be a little better, but not great. This is going to be a 3127 at 6%. So we're going to keep it moving. We definitely want to have some high percentage Quantanium rocks. And we'll kind of keep cruising around here for a little bit. And then if we have to, we can hit an OM marker and come back down and keep looking. Daggermore, Dag, how you doing? Nice to see you. How have you been, sir? So yeah, that's us, man. Mining Gadgets, PTU, Waveshifts, and Boremaxes, and Sabirs, and all sorts of fun stuff, you guys. So look how close, though. Look at the change in the meta, you guys. Look how close you have to get to the rocks in order for them to draw icons. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's going to change, you know, going into the future, but you know, as far as it goes now, it seems like you've got to pretty near hover over top of these guys before you can tell they're actually rocks. And so you know, it's just one of those things. See how close I'm literally within 1,000. And that's much different. I mean, you could certainly see the rocks from further away. Now you are getting pings at a pretty good clip. But the actual rocks themselves are not drawing out until you're really close. Now that's going to be that right there. I'm going to tell you right now. That's going to be gems. If I were to just kind of wait here, see how that. Yep, I could tell. The one thing that's kind of cool is you are able to scan gems at a much further clip. These may be gems as well over here. Very, very cool. We'll keep it moving. We're looking for, yep, nice gem pop there. We're looking for some high-value Quantanium to stick some mining gadgets on, so we're going to keep moving. Boy, Lyria's looking nice and pretty today. I'll tell you that much. Absolutely gorgeous. And we don't know, I mean, you know, the PTU, who knows how stable it's going to be. I'm going to knock on some wood right now. We very well could be, you know, 30, you know, have a 30K or two. There's no promises, but we're definitely going to make our, you know, make our best speed to try and find some Quantanium to test these mining gadgets. You know, it's kind of second round of testing, applying multiple gadgets to one rock, maybe trying to look for the best combination of those things and just monkeying around. So that is us. We're rocking this thing today. Alrighty, there's a single right there, and we're a couple of other opportunities up this way. We'll take a look. Anytime I see the square boxes, I refer to those as opportunities. You know, and so, yep, that's a single. See how you have to get real close in order to tell what they are. You know, and I do wonder, you know, I bet you at some point some of those other scanning ships are going to have some. That's going to be a single. I can see the rock sitting there. Yep, that's awesome. Cool. So kind of keep the sun at our nose, and we'll keep heading in a direction here and seeing if we can't find something to put the lasers on. But most importantly, throw the gadgets on. Another opportunity up this way. Looks like a couple. We'll split the difference. Yeah, look at how long 97, 96, 95. If you notice the left-hand side of the UI, the boost just goes for days now. I don't know. That's a huge change to the Prospector. I do love it. You know, it really does seem to make a fairly significant difference. You know, the boost on the 3.16 Prospector is, you know, gone in 3 seconds. So, I mean, it does, and it comes back at a reasonable clip too. And I don't even have I haven't even put a lot of power to engines or anything. I'm splitting power. So, Philip Offer, hey Philip, how are you today? Nice to see you. How have you been? Absolutely, welcome aboard. So single rocks there, a couple of opportunities up this way. We are going to keep looking here, and like I said, if we hit 75% hydrogen, which we're still a ways off from, we'll grab an OM marker and come back down. We've only found like one doubler so far to give us a little bit of an opportunity, and that one actually didn't even show up on our scanner. We just kind of flew over it, and it rendered. So, hey, there's a couple doublers right there. So, gotta have some talk your way into them sometimes. Ace Hambone says, it appears SC is aiming to make mining less profitable as the need for support costs will be going up. You know, I definitely think mining's probably not going to be as profitable potentially unless they make some new resources in the faraway systems. I mean, sometimes I think Quantanium's just going to be about surviving and moving on to the next system and not necessarily about pure mining. But I would imagine there's going to be some places that, you know, I mean, mining's fairly profitable. We'll have to see how it goes. You know, for all we know, you know, you might be able to just collect inert and just garbage materials, and players will be able to put out a huge kind of a bounty on those. So you might need, like, I need, you know, 7,000 SU of inert for this base I'm building. So, you know, there's so much game in front of us. It's hard to say, but I definitely seen where it looked like info runners were talking about that a bit, Ace, and we'll have to see. You know, and it very well could be the case. You know, it's gonna be hard to say. Mauricio says, you try to fight back with the... Do you try to fight back with the Prospector, if not set proper to engines and shield only? Nah, there's no really fighting in the Prospector per se. I mean, I suppose if it seemed like it was somebody who was really particularly not adept at fighting, but realistically, you know, I kind of recommend just kind of setting your power mostly to engines and just keeping your shields up. You know, it's funny. I mean, I will honestly say most of the time I go mining, I just leave it in the middle. I don't really monkey around with it. But I suppose if you're trying to min-max, putting it to engines mostly is, and making sure your shields stay up is probably the right thing to do. Philip Hoffer says, I do not I'm doing fine, waiting for 3.17 to go live so I can start mining again. Yeah, Phil, I know what you mean. You and all of us are kind of in that, in that malaise, if you will. There's that kind of before the patch drop, kind of finger biting, like I don't want to get a bunch of these jobs started malaise. And so that's why doing something like this is a little bit of a, kind of a nice distraction. Last night I did a little cargo trading, cargo running or whatever. I agree with you 100%, Philip. That's for sure. So yeah, we're just looking around here for something to put some mining gadgets on, and haven't found a whole lot yet. A couple of doublers. But we'll keep our foot on the gas here and keep looking. There's another. Yeah, you can boost for days. I mean, look at that. You can see I boosted out on that. I at least a 6 or 7 second boost, and it was still in the upper 80s. So, well, that's going to be diamonds and that kind of stuff. Alright, there's our next opportunities over this way. We'll kind of keep moving. We will keep it moving here. Looks like a single. Alright. Anyways, a beautiful day in northern Michigan. Very lovely out. Certainly cold. We still haven't turned the corner and got that warm weather we're looking for. It did snow a touch, into this morning a little bit. That was a single, but that actually looked like Quantanium. Now I go back and look at it. As I was just doing kind of a visual on that guy, it almost looked like it was Quantanium. I could be wrong. We don't stop for singles very often, but I mean, if I'm doing a visual on them and I happen to notice they're Quantanium, I'm going to stop. So it's a single. That is a 3,500 mass. We're getting a scan on it now. An 8%er, so nothing special there, but. Like I said, oh, there's some doublers right over that way. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Infinite Reach Ministries, greetings. How are you? Nice to see you. How's Turkey today? That's awesome. Infinite is mentioned that he is from Turkey, yeah, that's cool. Wonderful. All right, let's take a look here. This is going to be a decent quantity. This is going to have, see, this is a 27%er. Now, I normally mine this rock, right, you guys? But I'm looking for specifically big mass rocks to put the, the mining gadgets on. Now, this is actually a working man's cluster. This is a pretty good one, too. 3430 at 30%. Warm and cloudy. Well, that's nothing wrong with that, Infinite. That's for sure. I have a very cold and sunny over this way. So yeah, we'll keep it moving. We're definitely looking for rock, a decent percentage rocks that are north of the 6,000 mass. The last time I streamed, here's the cluster, you guys. Sweet. The last time I streamed, I found a 6,000 mass at 27%, and we were able to successfully break that. So that's the type of thing we're looking for over here, is something that's going to be, a decent mass, decent percentage that we can kind of land the Prospector, and we can absolutely get out and then stick a couple of mining gadgets on there. This is another going to be a high percentage as well. Nice percentage, 35, 30. This is a 33, 35. That's an excellent rock. Nothing wrong with it, just not in the range we're looking for. Little better. Boy, this is a good one, too. This is going to be a 53, 32. So, yeah, decent rock there. One we could easily break, though, without any kind of an extra assistance. So, You know, this is a 6100 mass at 2%. Ace Hambone says big mining operations, in addition to mining, will require refining, refueling, hauler, security, and maybe the crucible. What am I missing? Well, yeah, you're absolutely going to need repair. You're absolutely going to need refueling. You're absolutely going to need refining. And then, you know, maybe medical, Ace. You might want to have some medical, a little, at least some kind of a, you know, some kind of a medical bed of some variety in there. You know, potentially a triage or something along those lines. So here's the thing, you guys. I would absolutely, these are great rocks. These two right here, I would mine these in a second. You know, I think it's this one and this one. If I was here to mine, like right, if I was here to make money, this 35.30, this 33.35 would be in the hopper. This 53.32 would be in the hopper. I would do both of these right now. Francois says, I found an 85.56 mass at 46.27%. I couldn't do anything with it. It's heartbreaking. Well, that's what we're here to test, Francois. It's one of those things where what we're hoping to be able to do is use the mining gadgets in 3.17, but that's, you know, these are new, to maybe break something like that. Now, I will tell you, that's a very large rock. Ace Hambone says, good call on medical. Francois, that's a very, very, you know, that's a big rock, 8,500 mass. So even with the mining gadgets, we may not be able to necessarily deal with that one. But if I were to find that guy on the stream here today, I would actually stick probably 4 different mining gadgets on there, trying to, you know, 3 or 4 different ones, trying to actually see if I could break it, you know. So I'm really hoping that I do find something just like that. But I also, anything that's over 6,000 mass is going to be in the wheelhouse today. So we're definitely finding rocks. We definitely have found plenty of minables, but it's important to understand that we're trying to cherry pick. We want a high percentage rock that's, you know, that's over 6,000 mass. So we're just going to have to kind of keep our foot on the gas here and keep looking for that. And, you know, those are, you know, obviously Quantanium rocks are already, you know, difficult to locate, but you're trying to find specific ones for this testing. So, you know, we're just going to have to kind of, you know, have some perseverance and dig in and make it happen. Bruce Fontnot is asking an excellent question. What is a full load of Quantanium? A full load of Quantanium would be 32 SCU in the Prospector or 96 SCU in a mole. And I will mention Thursday night mining op last week, so almost a week ago tomorrow, I think. No, a week ago Thursday, so a couple days from now. We had a full 100, a full 100% 96 SCU load of Quantanium on the mole. We got a mole uni. It's only the second one I've ever gotten, mole uni, and yeah, that thing was, you know, that's a lot of space bucks right there. That's a heck of a nice thing. So the mole breaking teams did a really good job. They broke clean, and we really had an awesome run of Quantanium. So 32 SCU Quantanium in a Prospector is a 100% pure load, and 96 SCU in a mole is a 100% pure load. And those are, you know, we refer to those on the mining channel here as unis or unicorns. And, you know, we ring a little bell whenever we get one here, or at least in our head. So, Rock, how you doing, Rock? Nice to see you. How you been? That's awesome. Rock, I see you in the Discord there. I know we're going to try and catch up soon. Hopefully we can. So, yeah, this is... like I said, we're out here looking for specific rocks. We found some very nice Quantanium rocks already we could have mined, but we're not looking for like 35.35s or 50, even 53.35s. We're looking for something that's going to be north of 6,000 mass, that's got a high percentage in it, so we can stick these mining gadgets on and have a little fun. So that's what we're up to here. We're definitely going to be passing over lots of rocks that we would normally mine. Ace Hambone says, yes, mining will be a cash cow for my org. Yeah, you know, mining is really kind of the backbone of an organization. I definitely will agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of resources and, you know, money to be made, and I could, you know, Ace, I 1000% agree with that. Anthony Shadox, welcome to the channel, Anthony. Not a name I recognize. I will say to you guys, if you like mining content in Star Citizen, we Quantanium mine all the time. The stream goes back now about 3 months. Please do like and sub. I've definitely seen a few new names on there today, so yeah, welcome aboard, Anthony. If you have any questions about Star Citizen, or you'll find that this is a really nice group of people that like to answer questions, or and help out as much as possible. So yeah, I definitely won't say it a ton during the stream, but like I said, if you do like mining content in Star Citizen, please do like and sub. It brings more people to the channel, and the great news is we all get to learn from each other. So that's a big part of it. So cool. Well, we're out here in the PTU. I've got several different kinds of mining gadgets. I've got a Boremax, I've got the Waveshift, I've got the Optimax, I've got Sabirs, and we're looking for rocks that are north of 6,000 mass. And that have a high percentage of Quantanium to test these guys out. That's what we're doing. Will do, says Anthony. Cool. Well, that's awesome. Lots of people love to come and contribute to the stream, and so yeah, I welcome aboard. I'm glad to see you there. That's for sure. So yeah, I'm super excited, you guys. I'm really excited to kind of put some. I've already, we already did do some of this testing, but I just I'm really excited to stack like multiple gadgets on on these things and have a little fun with that. What the heck's the sun gotten off to? Oh, it's over here. I like to keep the sun on my on my nose so I don't retread the same ground. So we'll just keep on trucking here. Oh, the PTU is I was so happy when they did a patch today, so we could get out here and do this. Mauricio says, weird question incoming. I noticed that the textures, the majority, but not all, are being washed away, like lowering its definition despite having to config to max. How can I restore it to full beauty? That's an excellent question, Mauricio. Now, I guess let me ask you this. If you have an NVIDIA card, I know there are some changes you can make in the NVIDIA experience for colors, and you'd have to Google that exactly. It seems like £10.42 and maybe a couple of people. I think I've seen a DG360 video with that as well that talked about those specific changes. But that's one way. It's basically letting the video card, I think, decide the colors, as opposed to, it's something to do in the NVIDIA experience, like the extra kind of controls in there. I do know that's one way to do it. As far as in-game ways, I don't have a whole lot of options, obviously, besides maybe changing the different settings and just giving it a try. But I've definitely seen that where somebody's talked about changing stuff in the NVIDIA experience area, and I wish I could speak to it in a little finer detail. It's not something that I'd really look to doing myself. But, no big deal. Kojak, how you doing, Kojak? Nice to see you, Phil. Kojak says, hey, everybody. How you doing? Nice to see you, Coach. We're out here trying to put these mining gadgets on some rocks if we can find something to do it with. Philip Hoffer says, maybe deleting the texture cache is recommended in the patch notes. Well, that's why. Hey, you know what Philip did right there is exactly what this community is all about. Mauricio, Philip says there's a texture cache, and you might be able to delete that texture cache. So that is a very, certainly nothing I've ever even heard of before. So that's really cool, Philip. Thanks for sharing that. That's like I said, perfect example of why the community is so cool here. So here we got some a cluster here, and these are the rocks I've already scanned before. This is a cluster I've been over before. Isn't that funny, you guys? That's one of the reasons why I like to keep the sun where the sun is, instead of wandering off too much. So we'll kind of keep heading back this way. No big deal. Yeah, Philip, that was an awesome idea for sure. So in that cluster back there was plenty of rocks to mine, you guys. There was some awesome rocks in there. A 5335, I think a 3535. But we are not here to mine today so much. We're looking for a specific use case. That's going to be the larger rocks, 6,000 plus mass with a high percentage of Quantanium. And so we can test with these mining gadgets. So that's what we're up to here. If you're wondering why I'm passing good Quantanium, we wouldn't normally do that, but this is something I like to kind of just mention to you guys. So we're out here looking for a specific use case for these mining gadgets. Infinite Ministry says equip size 1 ballistic Gatlings on your Prospector. You need to equip the Cutlass Steel S1 Yellow Jacket Gatling. This will give you unlimited ammo. 3.17 only, I think. There are 2 S1 Yellow Jackets. Yeah, I have heard about that unlimited ammo thing. I think it was Cameron did a video on that, or at least I seen where it said unlimited ammo. Andrea says, okay, 2 work orders in the refinery done. When I'm back home, knock on wood, they'll still be there, no patch. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Andreas. It's always rolling the dice. Redemption says you can also purchase those yellow jacket gats from the store. The size 1s on the Cutty Steel are not proprietary. So good tip there for sure. Absolutely. And we're going to keep on looking here for a big rock, 6,000 plus mass with a high percentage in it. There's some doublers. If I, hey. Check these ones out. That's a 5,500 mass, a 5,800 mass at 4%. I think this said it was a 55, so not quite the mass that we're looking for. And not obviously not quite the percentages either, but mass is kind of king here for what we're doing today. We're looking for big rocks with good percentages in them. So, what's the highest? Great question, Kojak saying, what's the biggest rock I've broke with gadgets? Right now, the biggest rock I've broke successfully with gadgets is a 6,700 mass at 26%. So, I took a run at a bigger rock, but did not have any success with that. But I have brought some different, I have 4 different mining gadgets with me now. So if I find a bigger rock, I may attach multiple. I will attach multiple different gadgets to it this time. So I definitely, and I have not found anything that's kind of like a low 7,000 yet. So, but yeah, 6,700 with is the biggest one that I've been able to break so far, which was at 26%, which is basically 32 SCU. That was not a breakable rock before. That was not a rock you could break. In 3.16 without surges and stampedes. And so, and a lot of these rocks you could break with surges and stampedes, but anyways, Anthony says, that was your first video I saw, the 6,700 rock cracked. Yeah, I was really excited about that, and that's why we're out here again, trying to monkey around and seeing if we could find a few more big rocks to take a run at. And what's your setup on the Prospector? I have right now, the setup I normally run, which is an FLTR-XL. I normally have a couple of brands on board. In this particular case, I do have an Optimum and a brand. Just kind of, that's what I have listed right now. I normally run an FLTR-XL and a couple brands. That's my meta that I usually go with. And I definitely know that the cool thing about mining is lots of people have different ideas about what they like. There's a lot of people who like the Riegers. There's definitely a lot of people who like the surges and the stampedes, just for the exact same thing that I'm doing, which is the big breaker. And Philip is offering the location of the shader folder as well. So that's kind of cool. That's awesome, Philip. In case anybody wants to delete that shader folder, he's got the location available right in the chat. So that's cool as heck. All right, so we really are still looking around here for stuff to mine. Big rock, big mass, big percentage. So we're going to continue that fight. All right, next opportunity here. Doublers, that's good. Now that's a 6,300 mass, but it's not going to be a high percentage. Yep, just a 2.4%er. What have we here? 4,400 mass, and that is going to be at 2.9%. So not what we're looking for exactly. Hey, there's a single right over there that's a quant rock, though. I can see it. I just happen that that's just a single sitting there. Bruce Font says thanks. That's a really nice size. 7%er, too bad. That's a great mass on that rock. That would have been, that's definitely in the wheelhouse of what we're looking for mass-wise, 7,000. But it just isn't going to get her done on the percentage side. So we're really trying to cherry pick some very specific rocks. And one thing I will say is, I definitely will go back on the stream and I will put timestamps in for sure when we happen to find that thing and take a run at it, especially if it's a successful break, which is cool. One of the cool things about, you could see, as you guys can see, the meta's changed just a touch with the scanning of the gems, of the rock minables. For sure, it's you can actually get those at a much greater distance now. Same distance as the rocks. Sometimes you come up on them and they're not rocks. Sometimes you come up on them and they are the ROC minables, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. If they would get that extraction bug fixed with the ROC stuff, that would be that's such a fun game loop. If they would just get that one little thing fixed, I think it would make it ideal. I can see that rock up there, you guys. It's so funny. At that distance. It's cool. Alright, we'll just kind of fly over here. Just a single. Pivot over towards this guy here. And keep our foot on the gas for sure. We definitely, like I said, just want to find that one thing. That's what we're looking for. Granite deposit. We'll keep moving. Mauricio says, I only have the crash folder in there. Just a single rock there. We'll keep on moving. Drac says, did I miss anything good? Like things blowing up? Not yet, Drac. We are looking around for some big rocks to stick the mining gadgets on this time. So I definitely have passed over some rocks I could have mined. And that I would have absolutely mined if it was just, normal mining day. But with it being us doing a little testing for science and posterity, it's definitely more of a situation where I'm looking for big mass rock and, certain rocks to fit the criteria to stick the mining gadgets on. So Philip Hoffer says, those lokes are for the PTU. Are you having trouble when the PTU are live? So that's that can help clarify some of that pathing a little bit. I really like the how much you can boost the old Prospector, man. You can turn her on a dime now. Beautiful. Let's get this. That's going to be gems. You can see them kind of underneath the. Yeah. Nice looking land over this way. I like it. Starting to get a touch more hilly. Keep heading over this way. Mauricio says the first folder is the one, the other one has the crashes folder. Thanks, I will delete it and give it a try. That's awesome. And that's really cool, Philip. Then that's actually something I hadn't heard before. So that is a really cool thing to pass on, and something I will definitely keep in keep in my mind as as if people mention that in the stream in the future. Hey, I think this is a cluster. You guys watch. I can see rocks down there in several of them. We'll see. Yeah, I could actually physically, I could see them. That's what I'm saying. All right, so let's just kind of. All right, so this is going to be a good rock, you guys. This is kind of what we're looking for, I think. We'll see. At least it's got a good sliver. It's a 7,500 mass at a 20%. Yeah, this is a candidate. We're definitely going to do that one. I'm hoping that there's one with a little higher percentage, but that's a rock that's getting done for sure. So it's a great mass. It's right in the wheelhouse. This is a 4,400 at 32%. There's 4 more to scan here. That is a 6,400 at 2. This is an 8345 at 2. Too bad. A great mass on that rock. This is a 5950 at... We're not getting the finals. We kind of get in there and give her a poke with the laser. It's not going to be great, but I just thought I'd get the percentages. 2.59. And here is last rock to scan here. This is a 2597. Very small rock at 2%. So here's what we're looking at right here. It's this guy right here. It's a 7,500 mass at 20.89%. So let me do this to begin with. We are going to... Let me just double check the side. I want to be putting it on that side. So I'm going to run around. All right, let's get some perspective here. We're going to drop the gear. Down we're going to go. And we're taking it nice and easy. Good little landing. I'll kill the engines for sure, and we will back our way out of the seat here. It's so crazy. Hey, Thomas, how are you today? Thomas Giacomo. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. He says he just made 300K today, everybody. That's a great... Yeah, mining's just, it's such a good thing. Yeah. So let's just double check here. We've got the... We've got this guy on here. This is a Waveshift, and this is the one I'm going to use this time. So we'll go ahead and give this one a try. We're going to go out to that rock there. That is a 7,500 at about 20.8%. So this is what we're doing. Hey, Philip offers... says, "Come on, folks. You know what you like what you're watching. Give it a like, give it a sub." Thank you, Bill. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, so here we go, you guys. This is going to be a good spot right over here. I look for a nice little kind of a flat spot. I am going to you hit 4, and you rotate those guys kind of in there. And you keep on rotating until... There we go. And then we're going to hold F, and we're going to go ahead and put place. And yeah, we're going to just get a good stick on there, hopefully. And we'll continue to kind of hit 4 until, and there we go. We'll try it again. We'll go ahead and hit place again. And it doesn't seem to be going, it is funny. It doesn't seem to be going on there. We'll keep trying. All right. I might have been too far from the rock, too, so we'll just kind of go place. That's probably what it was, maybe. Hard to say. It does look like it's on there now, though. So let's go ahead and we'll monkey around with the axial scatter to begin with. I've seen it go up to like 89 there, 88. So now let's mess with the field range. And then how about propagation? Okay, mess with the axial scatter a little more. There we go. Let's see how high we can get it to go. 98 is the highest I've ever tweaked it to. There's 96 there. There we go. There's 98. And I will activate that guy. And yeah, so we put the Waveshift on there. That is awesome. Hey, a Baron of Chivalry says, Quantanium and coffee. Love it. Welcome, Baron. How are you today? That rocket shoots. It is crazy when you... It's Philip's making a great point. When you get out of your ship, I mean, they look so small, but when you get up next to them, you're like, oh my star. These things are enormous. That's exactly right. You get some perspective on that. Marichi says, oh, it's bogged. I know that he's working on trying to get that cache folder cleared. We're going to go ahead and enter our ship here. Drax says, can you say Gorilla Glue? Yeah, that's exactly right. I almost said to duct tape it to the rock. You're exactly right. Baron, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. Definitely, if you like mining and Star Citizen, you came to the right place. That's what we do here. And we definitely drink lots of Java and do lots of Quantanium and mine lots of Quantanium. Drax says, checkmate. Check to make sure you didn't drop your pistol in the dirt. Oh, I might have, for sure. I wish I would have noticed that before, and that definitely could be a thing. So, all right, we're just going to kind of get some perspective here. Up we go. We have the Waveshift on there for sure. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to try to... Now, the Waveshift is not quite as... It doesn't drop the resistance quite as much as the Boremax. So if this is going to be interesting, I'm going to free up the laser head a little bit. We are at a really good range. And let's just see if we can build energy into this. You can tell the optimal window is bigger, though, by the way. I'll tell you that right now. But that is not the greatest sign in the world. We'll have to see. It did fall out for a second, so we might have to sneak out there and stick a Boremax on there too, because I think dropping you can tell the resistance is still up there pretty good at 0.32, and it's falling out. So we'll see though. We'll see if we can get a charge level to climb. Guru X says, should I buy this game now? Is there a lot of content? Guru, that's an excellent question. I will tell you, if you're expecting any kind of a polished game, the answer would be no. If you are okay with it being a hot mess, and by me saying that, I'm not saying I do. I enjoy the hell out of this game, but it is not necessarily in any kind of a condition where you would be like, yes, go ahead and, I highly recommend you run out and buy it right now. That being said, I love this game. I think it's a great game. I thoroughly enjoy it. And I've been playing about 1.5 years now, and I mine almost every day in Star Citizen, and I love it. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for everybody. You really do have to understand kind of where it's at in its development, and it's got a long way to go. So hey, we built up to about 57. So right now the Waveshift is working great for us. The charge level is very reasonable. The instability is at a very reasonable level, and the optimal window is in a very good place. So there's a very good chance we're going to break this 7493 at 20.89%. So the resistance did go down. It's almost like it took a little minute for the Waveshift to kick in, or like maybe there was a server tick or something, because the resistance was up there like 0.3 something at first, and then it kicked down. So very good catch, Mauricio. I definitely see what you're saying there. And Archer is on here, who's a Fantastic Miner, it's funny, he says, I think he's answering you, Guru, and saying, should I buy this game now? He said no. You know, I would never lean towards a hard no, but I just think you just need to really do some research and know what you're getting into. And if you think you're getting any kind of a real polished experience, that's definitely not happening. That being said, you know, everybody knows how I feel about Star Citizen. I love it. You know what I mean? I love this game. I know it's got its bugaboos. I absolutely am well aware of that, but I love it. So this is getting into the optimal. The Waveshift is kicked in. You know, we look like we're going to be okay here. Now that Waveshift is cool because it's got a plus to the optimal charge rate as well, so it does get through the green pretty fast. And so look at, you know, this is us easily handling, like I would say very easily handling, a 7400 map, 7493. I mean, this is like a walk in the park, you guys. This is not hard at all. Even if it falls out here, it's not hard at all. This is a 7493. This is not a breakable rock in 3.16. I mean, boom, that says it all right there. Look, you guys. I mean, that's it. That's fire right there. That's I mean, I don't know what else needs. I mean, that's a 7500 mass rock at 20%. That is easily. Here, let me grab my. I'm gonna fire up the QuantCalc phone real quick because I just would like to know the Quantanium amount on this particular rock. But you know, and there's not another rock here that's a great use case. But let me go ahead and fire up the QuantCalc phone. If anybody has QuantCalc, you could put in the numbers. I think it was a 7493 at 20.89. So I'm just curious because we easily handled that rock. I mean, that wasn't even a challenge. That was easy to break. I mean, I could have, you know, I could have been sipping some coffee while we did that one. It really was not a difficult break at all. So I'm firing up that phone. If anybody has QuantCalc, if you already have it, it was a 7493 at 20.89%. But I am firing it up because I am curious. That's an awesome break, you guys. And that Waveshift, when it kicked in, it did drop the resistance significantly. And I mean, you know, if you take a Lancet, the cap of the Lancet in 3.16 is 5900. You can't break a bigger rock than 5900. Now I just got out and I used my gadget and I just broke this big old rock here. So hold on just a second. I'm gonna be pulling up QuantCalc. I think I am, anyways. Give me a second. I have this Google phone that I use just specifically for QuantCalc. All right, I'm firing it up now. And it was off. I was charging it. So, you know, bear with me just a second here as I plug in the numbers. Because this is a rock I would have never been able to... I would have never been able to break at all in 3.16. So, I am just curious. But, you know, that being said, this is way over a full Prospector load. So the fact that we can do these now in 3.17 does, you know, is exciting. Now, one argument I want to make is they need to put some 13,000 mass rocks in this game. They need to make some rocks that require the mold to break. I mean, that's just a 100% given. The fact that, you know, that now the prospectors are able to break these 7,500 rocks without just kind of jumping out. And I am going to go try and retrieve that gadget here in just a second too, you guys. But yeah, give me just a sec here. Trying to fire up the old QuantCalc. And I just am curious what the... yeah, Mauricio, I'm definitely going to do that. Give me just a sec here. Actually, I'll just kind of... I'll punch in those numbers in just a second. So, yeah, I'm going to put this mining laser back away. I'm going to land. You're right about that. Let me go ahead and just kind of... Oh, I'll put the gear back down. We're going to land. Yep, okay. And I'm going to see if I can go recover the gadget. For sure. Cool. This is awesome. And I will turn off the engines and we'll back out here. QuantCalc's ready to go. Sorry about that. It took just a second. 7493. And the mass was, or there was 20.89. I'm going to calculate that rock. I don't know if I put the right percentage in there. Yeah, I did. See, that's 31 SCU in that rock. It's 31 and some change. So that actually is not quite a uni, but that's a rock right there. That's a nice 30 SCU of Quantanium in that rock. We would have never been able to do that in 3.16. So I'm so excited that that we were able to kind of test that particular mining gadget, the Waveshift, and we're now going to go look for it and see if we can actually recover it. It's sitting right there. I can see it on the ground. So now they've got this nice. This is cool. Let me go ahead and just grab that guy. I could see the UI on it for a second. Oh, that almost fell on me. That thing moved. What the heck? I almost got squished. Oh my stars. That's hilarious. That was not there before. Yeah, don't seem to be able to grab it. I wonder if there's from... Oh, right there. Hold on. Grab. I got it. That's awesome. Is equip now on my back again? I did. I recovered it. Successful recovery. Almost got squished. That's hilarious. Oh, my stars in heaven. I almost got squished. Just completely. Well, we recovered the gadget, though. That's awesome. And, yeah, cool. That's very cool. Good stuff. Oh, check for my pistol, too. Darn it, Drac. You're right. I should have looked. Let me look and see if I dropped my pistol. It did. The animation made it look like I was dropping my pistol, but I don't. I think it's right there. I can see it, so I didn't drop it for sure. All right, so one Waveshift successful and recovered. It's so funny. I said on a raise guide thing today, and I kind of meant it. So I don't know that I'd go back out and pick those up, but now that I just did, and it was sitting right there. I mean, why would you leave 20,000 AUEC sitting on the ground right there? I mean, it's not hard to go out there and grab it again. So, anyways, that was an awesome break, and up we go. There's nothing else in this cluster worth kind of breaking, and so we're gonna continue and move on. We're gonna look for one more rock at least to break. I was looking, hopefully finding something that we maybe can't break that we could stick multiple gadgets on. So cool. All right, so let's kind of orientate ourselves towards the sun. I think. Yep, this way. That's great. And let me just we'll go ahead and get started here again, and off we go. So that was a great cluster. Yeah, that's the biggest rock I've ever broke with the Lancet. That's a 7493 at 20, just under 21%, 20.89. So nothing we're going to be, that's very, very proud of that break. But I'll tell you what, the Waveshift made that easy. I mean, it was not a challenge at all. So that's it's a kind of a game changer for your prospectors. Now, you just kind of keep them in your ship inventory. You don't necessarily, I mean, you don't have to keep a crazy amount of them, especially if there's a chance that you can recover them. You might want to keep a couple of each in your ship inventory, grab them and go out and throw them on there, and you notice the nice red flashing light on there after they break. So they're sitting, it was sitting right there on the surface of the ground. One lesson I did learn though is be careful. Bane, yeah, that's exactly right, Bane. Bane's asking an excellent question. So you're breaking rocks on mine. Yeah, Bane, this here is the PTU, or the test universe. I'm not I'm not mining today. I'm testing these mining gadgets. And the mining gadgets, the way that they work is the Lancet had kind of a cap of 5,900 mass that it was capable of breaking without like a surge or a stampede or that type of thing. So I'm throwing some mining gadgets onto rocks today, and testing in the PTU to see what size rocks we can break. So I'm definitely not, I am kind of doing a mining thing, but I'm not actually doing the mining part of it and pulling in the Quantanium part of it. If that makes sense. I'm just kind of, for science and posterity, I'm just kind of testing out the new mechanics for the mining gadgets and going from there. Richie says, it can break the economy, too many miners and too many rocks to mine. An option is to lower the quant price. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they'll have to figure that out, right? I mean, there's no question that for one thing I will say is, in some systems, maybe there isn't a refinery. Maybe there's several refineries in this system, but maybe in some systems there's no refineries. So those particular systems are just starving for Quantanium. So maybe in this system you can buy Quantanium relatively cheap because people are mining the crap out of it, but maybe you can haul it to some remote systems that are thirsty for Quantanium and sell it there for a very big profit. So, I mean, I'm sure that's probably what the whole Quanta goal is, something along those lines. But yeah, I think that's kind of that's something to think about for sure in the whole Quanta, mechanics type of thing, is that there's absolutely could be some outposts that are just thirsty for Quantanium because it's dangerous. There's not a lot of not a lot of refueling tankers come out that way, and so Quantanium could be worth tons to those people for sure. So awesome. Hey, let's go ahead and take a look at this rock here. Awesome. Keep on moving. Chris Bates says when salvage comes in, it will equal out. I agree. I mean, all the other game loops will play a big impact as well. Chris is making an excellent point. We really haven't, the economy, as they add little pieces to it, it will actually fluctuate and change. Especially if they make it so in order to do repairs, you have to have some aluminum, or, you have to have some of these base materials. Like, if they really kind of start attaching material, like you need certain raw materials in order to be able to do particular things, that's really going to change things up significantly as well. So maybe Quantanium comes down a little bit, but diamond and corundum and aluminum go way up. It's really going to be hard to say exactly how all that works. That's for sure. So if you give me just a sec here, I think I'm actually going to open my window just a touch. It's a touch warm in here. There we go. Crack the window just a touch and see if we can get let's get a touch cooler in here. Sun's kind of streaming in and it's beautiful. Mauricio says, how much will the salvage ship cost? It looks to me like the Vulture is going to be around the same price as the Prospector. I would imagine it's probably going to be in the neighborhood of between 2 and 3 million. In game, that's a guess. You never know. But if it follows along the same meta, it's around the same price as the Prospector. So that's would probably be the best way for us to guess. We certainly, and I'm just basing that on real world dollars. I think that it's like around 150 or so in real world dollars, and I think the Prospector's 155. So something close to that. Drax says, laughing, everything you're talking about and what they're going to do someday eventually is what they already do in Elite Dangerous. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But they definitely have a, I know Elite Dangerous has definitely got, is in many ways has some, especially with the economy, has a lot going over. There's a lot more functionality in there specific to the economy in Elite Dangerous than what Star Citizen has. The one thing I will say though, Drac, and I'll just I love Elite. It was my favorite game. I've told you that so many times. Elite's my favorite game of all time. But I will tell you that I played Elite, and mined for sure there, and I only did it for a couple of weeks and just kind of it didn't stick with me. So, definitely one of those things where, I'm glad that both games have existed. I really do like Elite Dangerous, especially in VR. I don't know if anybody's ever played Elite Dangerous in VR. It's super cool. But Star Citizen's definitely more my jam. Working economy with booms and bust, player driven. I really do like. Yeah, I hope that those things do make it into Star Citizen. I can't agree more. You want booms and busts. You definitely want some resource blooms. You want some artificial scarcity. That type of thing, and then some base building, and then obviously some forward operating flotillas, and all that stuff is awesome. Mauricio says, I bet it will cost around 5 million. It's bigger than the Prospector. It certainly could. You know, it's hard to argue exactly. Oh, that's that's a doubler right there. Let's take a look. Riamone, not, and if I butcher your name, Riamone, please, I do apologize. But welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. That seems like, and if you'll allow me to venture, that seems like maybe a Scottish name potentially. I'm just gonna guess. Absolutely will tell you. Look at this, guys. It's a 6500 at 20%. We might have done this rock had we not already done a 7500 at a little bit higher percentage. Welcome to the channel. Anyways, I just wanted to say, welcome aboard. How are you doing today? What with the little movable dingus in the middle? What's with the little movable dingus in the middle of your screen? That's my mining head. You know, if you mine, that's the mining. That's, you know, like, and let me kind of give you what it looks like from the outside of the ship. So, oh, hey, my gear's still. Let me raise my gear. So that actually extends out and allows me to mine that stuff down there. So that's what it is. I've extended my mining laser in order to do the mining. Mudbath55 says an Eve-style economy would be good as well. Mudbath, expand on that concept a little bit. What do you mean by an Eve-style economy? I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. That's an interesting. You know, first of all, let me just say I played Eve the day that it opened. Absolutely loved Eve. It did get a little, you know, like, obviously everybody knows where Eve went, you know, with you know, how crazy it got or whatever. And so I did stop playing Eve probably about a year or so after I played it originally. But the day Eve opened, I was playing, and I'd really like to, you know, like to hear, like, as far as what you mean by that, an Eve style economy. That's awesome. Oh, you said, Ramon says, I see it helps you change direction, but what is it? Something from in the game? Oh, I'm using, you got, probably what you don't understand is I'm using mouse and keyboard. And so, like, that's me moving the mouse around. Normally I have HOSAS or sticks mapped for the PU, for the regular, but in the test universe, I never did map my sticks. So that's just the mouse moving around, kind of telling me what direction I'm going to be taking the ship in. You know, so I'm just flying with mouse and keyboard right now. I think that's what you're asking. Yeah, that's just me. Like I said, normally have sticks and you wouldn't even see that. But in the test universe, I don't have those. And so because I haven't mapped my sticks over because I'm lazy. If I'm 100% honest, if I'm keeping it 100, it's because I'm lazy. I didn't map my sticks. So Andrea says 100% player driven. No, that's his opinion on that. Hey, there's some doublers right there, you guys. We'll check them out. You know, I think some kind of a hybrid between player driven and Quanta would be fine. I definitely am okay with either or. We'll have to see how it shapes up for sure. Mudbath says supply and demand type economy, weapons and ammo. I do like that idea. I mean, I definitely like the idea of if things get flooded in an area, they're cheaper. If things are, you know, nobody's brought something to an area that it uses a certain amount of those materials, you know, and then, yeah, that's going to be a decent rock, you guys, but it's not. Its mass is too little for what we're doing here today. So I think, yeah, I will. That is a 30-20, not a bad rock. But, you know, like I said, not for what we're looking for today. But I do love that idea. Wow, hey, there's some excellent names and people that I don't recognize. Elsid Barrett, welcome to the channel. Chad Lowson, welcome to the channel. Of course, Rayman, welcome to the channel. Oh, it's Irish, and you almost pronounced it right. Well, you know, my great grandmother, Thelma Lynch, was off the boat. Not terribly too many generations back. I'm American, but of Irish descent. So absolutely feel like thank you. I'm glad I got that somewhat close. That makes me proud. So, and of course, you know, sorry I didn't recognize some heritage there, but definitely American here. So Chad Lowson says all your settings will be there. Oh, you can copy the settings and mapping folder of the PTU and it will work. I need to do that, Chad. I just would have been lazy. Elsa Barrett, welcome to the channel. Chad, welcome to the channel. Phaedrus, welcome to the channel. Those are names I don't recognize. Payne, welcome to the channel. How are you guys doing? Welcome aboard. So thanks for streaming some SE goodness to make the end of my work day less painful, Phaedrus says, you bet. thank you for tuning in and watching for sure. P-Pain, how you doing? From Poland, awesome. How you doing? Love it. We've had somebody from Turkey today, somebody from Poland today, Ireland today, I think, potentially. So it's a beautiful stream today. Definitely enjoying it for sure. So we are out. So everybody is aware. I have 4 different types of mining gadgets. We're in the PTU, and we're testing the mining gadgets in the PTU. I've already been able to take a Waveshift, which is a mining gadget, and put it on a 7500 mass, 20.89%, and break it with ease. So we're out here looking for big mass rocks with some high percentage of Quantanium for us to just kind of, just for us to break, quite honestly. So that Waveshift worked like a champ. So Chad Lowson says, are you trying your hand at Star Citizen content? It's hard to break through the noise on YouTube. Oh, you know what, Chad? I have just started this channel because I enjoy mining, and if a few people join me for mining, it's just fine. I don't have big aspirations. I didn't even think I was going to like streaming, but I've really enjoyed it. I started about 3 months ago. We've gotten ourselves up to a little over 700 subs, which I never dreamed it was going to ever going to happen. So if you like mining content for Star Citizen, please do like and sub. I really would appreciate it. I stream Quantanium mining almost exclusively. Of course, once they get kind of the extraction bug fixed, I'll probably do a lot more ROC mining. And then, of course, some hand mining eventually, occasionally as well. A little bit of cargo running. I did some of that last night, just kind of as the patch is kind of in that malaise right before the 3.17 may drop. So, welcome aboard. So, Elsa says, doing well. Think of getting back into the game. New update looks pretty good. The UIs look really good. All of the UIs look really, really sharp right now in 3.17. Elsa, of course, we'd love to have you back. Come on back. Raymond says, thank you for the welcome. My name is pronounced Ray Moen. Ray Moen. Or Ray Moen. Oh, Ray Moen. Okay, thank you for telling me, Raymond. I really appreciate that. I definitely try to take note when I see, when people ask, or people, do show up. So, Raymond, I will do my best with your name from here on out. And I appreciate you, appreciate you taking the time to help me help myself say your name correctly. Chad says, I've been Q mining for years. That's awesome, Chad. Always, it's cool because there's lots of young guys who or newer to the members to Star Citizen who come and ask mining questions. So I always love it when there are some veterans around. We're blessed to have a few of those that help answer questions here. And I prospector mine almost all, exclusively all the time. Love doing it. Prospector is my favorite ship in the game by a mile. And so, I am really enjoying the mining gadgets right now. Obviously, I think they are going to have kind of a, they're going to be something you're definitely just going to want to have some kit placed in your ship inventory. And when you happen to just be running across the size rocks where it will work for, you'll want to take advantage of them. So here's us finding some doublers here, and we're going to take a look at these guys real quick and see if one of them. That's a small rock, but probably a decent percentage, if I were to guess. But not what we're looking for here today. We're looking for something that's going to be over 6,000 mass, and that is a nice rock at 37%, or even though it's a little guy. What size is this? This is another. This will be a working man's cluster right here. That's right there's a 3044. So I would, once again, I would break up both those rocks and go home with the uni if I could. But we're not mining today. We're not, we're just kind of looking. We're fishing. We're out here fishing for certain size fish, and we're throwing them back today, you guys. We're catch and release today. We're just kind of out here trying. The ROC cannot use the gadgets. No, the ROC can't. You can't attach the gadgets to the little things. Although you can pop the. I don't know if you guys know this. You can pop the ROC minables with the Prospector. As a matter of fact, the Prospector is great at that. It's you don't put any energy into it. Turn the laser on and off, on and off. You can easily pop like a cluster of 9 had night in 2 or 3 minutes, and then have the ROCs just extract. Very simple thing to do. Draconis is going to frown a little bit. Ray Omen says, I have pledged a starter, and my ship is the Aurora MR. and play with mouse and keyboard, and don't have the Wii mouse on my screen. I want to play with HOTAS, but the key bindings. Maybe this little thing is something that's newer in 3.17. I guess I don't know. It is funny because I don't know that I see that in 3.16, especially as I'm just kind of flying around. It's nothing I set. I'll tell you that much. It is interesting. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. That's hilarious. Chad says it's only for large rocks for Prospector or Mole. Will be interesting to see if they add rocks that a Mole cannot crack without a gadget. Chad, I really want them to do that. Look at this, guys. It's a 49%er, a 3250 at 49%. We're finding some nice rocks. Just not that the masses that we want. That's a heck of a nice rock. 49%ers. That's a great rock. But you know, like I said, we're not mining today, so we're just kind of catch and release. So off we go. Thank you very much, Realman. I appreciate that for sure. He said he liked and subbed. That's cool, Raymond. Or my Auroras are my favorite star. The Aurora's a great, a fun little ship, I think, for sure. Redemption says, "Damn, 17 throwing it back live on stream. That's wild. Nice. That's cool. You know. So that is funny." Elsid Barrett says, "Or Doe, yeah, Doe, how you been, Doe? Nice to see you. Hey, I was just watching you trade, and now you're live. Glad I made it. Good hunting. Thank you. I was just, Doe, I did a little trading last night, and sorry for that. The first stop on my trading run was just no man's land, but after that I got it going, and I think I did pretty good on the layer night. I made a couple 100,000 last night, so I'm not complaining. But you know, like I said, kind of with the right before the patch drops and not wanting to get a bunch of refining jobs going, you know, I definitely thought that Judgment was the better part of Valor there, and we would definitely do some. Oh, there's a doubler right there. I'm gonna have to stop for that guy. Hold on, I was cruising. That doubler did not draw at first. The cool thing is, look at boost, you guys. Boosting for days, 93, 90, 89, 88. You can boost the heck out of the Prospector now. It's not like that 3 second, you know, the boost is cool. I mean, I love that. So what do we got here? This is going to be what mass? This is a 3187, so not a great mass. Not what we're looking for. What have we here? This is a 4500 mass rock at 43%. This is a 4543. There's another rock, and so that's, you know, I found 100. You know, I'm finding plenty of SEU. I'm just not I'm not finding it in the size I'm looking for testing with these mining gadgets. So, man, we're finding some beautiful rocks out here, though. Redemption says my brain is tired. I meant to say 72. No big deal, Redemption. I'm just glad you're here, brother. Chad says, we fisheye lens. Yeah, I know what you mean with the old Prospector and the fisheye for sure. Mudbath says, Chad Lawson, what is your setup? Good question, Chad Lawson. It's having the confidence to do the mapping. I have a Thrustmaster HOTAS, which I play with Elite Dangerous, and a T1600M throttle and stick jobby. Yeah, I have the 1600s as well, but I got the VKB Gladiator NXTs, and I just love those. So it does take a little while to map that stuff, but once you kind of have it in place, it's, you know, it's been fairly persistent. I just don't have it mapped right now in the PTU. I didn't realize it was easy as just kind of dragging a folder over, so I need to do that. I'm going to monkey around with that maybe after the stream, and tomorrow I'll have it. The one thing I will say is when I actually mine, I do mine mouse and keyboard. I fly mouse and keyboard mining for sure. I enjoy it. I whenever I'm doing kind of low flying or combat stuff, I absolutely love my HOTAS, 2 sticks. But when I mine, I go back to mouse, or FPS in particular. I definitely go back to kind of a mouse and keyboard for hybrid, just because it's, you know, it's just kind of, you know, I enjoy. I like the precision, I think is the right thing to say with it. All right, we're still looking around here. That was a bunch of gems right there. Geesley, how you doing, Geesley? Nice to see you. How you doing tonight? Nice to see you for sure. Oh, and I'm getting that DM remind. You know, people are asking me to tell you to like and sub if you do like the channel. I gotta say it now and then, so I do appreciate it if you guys do that. It brings more people to the channel, just like we've seen tonight. Loving it, loving the conversation. It's been fantastic. Bubba plays. What planet are you on? I'm on Lyria. outside of ArtCorp. So I'm on Lyria. This is the PTU. I'm looking specifically for very large mass rocks with large percentages of Quantanium in them to stick. I have a whole bunch of different kinds of mining gadgets on board, and I'm looking to stick mining gadgets on there for testing purposes tonight, Bubba. So, Bubble Bubba. I love your name, Bubba, by the way. Bubble Play. What is that? Bubba Plays. Love it. That's awesome. Looks like Chad and Mudbath are chatting about system specs. That's cool. Mauricio says, what's the price of the gadgets? They range from like 13K to like 21K. The Waveshift is a little over 20. The Boremax is like 13. Storm says, I can't claim my Hornet right now. What do I do? A couple of things you might try, Storm. I guess, have you tried a character reset? That's, you know, obviously kind of throwing a sledgehammer at it, but it definitely can work. Storm, you know, and if anybody in the community here has other things that Storm may try, please, do comment for sure. Mudbath says, wow, very nice. Yeah, that is nice. That is a very nice system with the 30, Hey, there's some doublers. Let's take a look at them. Cool. Bubble Places. I'm Dayton in Star Citizen. Nice, Dayton. Love it. X56 HOTAS. Those are nice sticks for sure. Love them. On. 3005 mass. Not the mass we're looking for there. What about this guy? 5419 mass, and that is a 5%er. So yeah, we'll just keep looking here. We've managed to break, and of course successfully broke a 7500 mass at 20.89%. 20.89. So it's just south of 32 SCU. And so Remco says, how did you get the yellow icon indicators? Remco, great question. That is the Aral Gray Cat Armor Hazard Set helmet that gives you the yellow icons. If you want the yellow icons, you have to put the helmet on. You do have to go back to menus and then log back into the game. I think there's going to be doublers right there, guys. Nope. I thought there was a couple rocks there. It looked. You can see them there. They're physically behind it, but it wasn't. But yeah, that's how you get them for sure, Remco. It's the Aral Gray Cat Armor Hazard Set. It's just the helmet is the only piece you need, but you do, when you buy the helmet and put it on, it won't be yellow right away. You do have to go back to menus and log back in before they'll go yellow. Just so you know. Let's see here. Chad says, "Oh, the Toby 5." I really do need to get the eye tracking stuff going, you guys. I'm gonna probably make the investment to go to 4K. I have one of the 5120 by 1440 screens, and I'm probably going to make the investment to go to 4K before the eye tracker stuff. But shortly after, I get 4K out of the way, and I'm going to wait for the next generation of. I really am going to wait for the 4080 or something like that before I go with making a jump. I was really looking at a 3080 Ti or maybe a 3090, and I thought, I'm just going to wait. If I'm going to stick my money into things, I'm probably just going to wait for the next gen, and hopefully we'll be able to get my hands on one, right? Remco says, awesome. Faricia says, Remco, there's a video on his channel about the yellow indicators. Yeah, there is a video, that's true. It's called Yellow Icons, Remco, that if you want to know kind of where to buy that stuff at. Railman says, I am getting used to flying with mouse and keyboard. Two sticks, that would take some getting used to. I love my throttle and stick. I definitely understand, why, definitely changing from a HOTAS to a HOSAS setup does take some getting used to. It absolutely does. I think it can make sense in space to have the throttle as well, but or having the two sticks as well. But I think it's really what you're comfortable with. That's really what it boils down to. And I do love the two. I adore having two sticks, but I can definitely understand where other people may really prefer the throttle as well. Absolutely. That's kind of a beauty there is what do you what works for you and what do you enjoy. There's a 6600 mass. That's a good mass. But probably not that high of a percentage based on what I'm seeing there as far as the sliver goes. Nope, just an 8%er. Cool. Oh, Phaedra says the Toby's 15% off this week. Who knew? I didn't. That's for sure. You'll need your own local power plant for a 4080. Chad, you're so right about that. Those numbers are staggering. I'm definitely going to end up having to at least get a 1,000-watt power supply. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, it makes me wonder. It's like, is it really going to? I know that the early specs really do show that, but is it really going to play out that way? That it does seem crazy. 2 sticks is hardcore. Elson says, love it. Geezy says, I use throttle for mining only. Yeah, I can definitely. Some people do love the throttle for mining, for kind of for the laser intensity. Redemption says, I bought pedals that are worth more than both my throttles, and here I'm using mouse and keyboard just because. That's hilarious, Redemption. He's got pedals of the gods, but then he's playing with mouse and keyboard. That is funny as hell. Chad says, Railman, the controller is best for ground vehicles. Oh, that's interesting. And then, yeah, some good conversation going back and forth between you guys. That is fantastic. Lots of likes, lots of happy chatter today. I'm loving it, you guys. This is it's such a fun day to be out monkeying around in Star Citizen, trying to find some big old rocks to put some of these mining gadgets on. I want to find one more big one. That's what I really want to do. I want to find one big one that's like an 8,000 mass at like a 30%er, something along those lines, and I would be really happy if we could find something just like that. And so we'll keep our foot on the gas. Now we are down around, we've got plenty of hydrogen left, but I have had the 75%er go off. I haven't heard the 50 alarm yet go off. Have a slider for mining power was game changing for me. You know what? I could see where a slider might be really cool. And it's funny because the VKB Gladiators do have some sliders on the end of them, like on the base of them, and I've always wondered if I would use one. I don't mind the mouse wheel though. I mean, it's grown on me. The mouse wheel's pretty cool. I'm pretty okay with it. But I could definitely see where just a slider, like I don't know if you guys ever played like a Korg keyboard where it's got that ribbon, like a ribbon slider would be just fantastic for stuff like that. It's cool. Alrighty. Colton says, hey man, nice to see you. Colton, how are you? It's nice to see you, sir. Raymond says, hey Chad, really? I don't know that question. Can you dedicate the method of control like HOTAS for flight, controller for driving? I think you can do some pretty customizable stuff, Raymond, for sure. I think you can customize quite a bit, more than you probably think, with specific things. Felix Jen says, I use the slider on the base of the 1600s for mining power, super precise. I could absolutely see that being the thing, Felix, for sure. I absolutely could see exactly why that would feel real precise at that. So Colton's asking, what's the plan for today? Well, Colton, we've already kind of knocked out some of the plan for today. We're in the PTU. I've got 4 different kind of mining gadgets: a Waveshift, a Sabir, an Optimax, and a Boremax. And I'm looking for rocks that are a mass of over 6,000 that are a high percentage that I can try the mining gadgets on, because the mining gadgets are new for 3.17. It's not those aren't things that have been around before. I've already been able to break earlier in the stream a 7,500 mass rock at 20.89% with the Lancet, and it was an easy break. It wasn't even hard. I got to be honest with you. So, we definitely want to try and find at least one more big mass rock. And if I'm going to fly to the 50% mark and maybe a couple minutes beyond that, and then we might grab an OM marker and come back down just to kind of shake it up a little bit. Mauricio says, did you try Halo, a Phantom Rocks, get better in PTU? I haven't tried the Halo yet. I have heard that the rocks that there's a lot of scanning issues on the rocks in the Halo, but I haven't gone to try that out. I probably will try that out tomorrow night a little bit. Colton says, how did the cargo runs go last night? Not too bad. Probably in a little over a couple hours, I made about 200 and 25. I made a little over 100,000 an hour, which isn't bad money. I mean, it's not great. But it wasn't terrible. I don't think these are doublers, you guys. I think they're too far apart from each other. even though they did pop at the same time. They are not. Felix Jen says having scanning ranges changed for ground rocks and PTU. They have significantly, especially for the rock minables. Like some of these that you'll see out here at ranges of, you know, like 11 or 8 will actually be rock minables. And if you notice, Felix, I have to be pretty near over the opportunity. You know, I have to be almost, you know, within 1,000 or 1,500 of the box before we'll actually draw the rock icon. Now you do get the white thing will pop, but it's, if you notice, the white would have already popped at 5,000. It hasn't popped yet. See, if you look, I can see the rock physically. Look where I'm at before it will actually show up. It's right there. It's 1,000 meters is before it will draw the rock icon, or before you can, you know, you can move in on it. YouTuberian says, do you loot when on cargo runs? I should have been. You know, it's funny, I thought about that. I didn't last night, but I should have definitely, because I had the M2, and I had plenty of space. I probably should have ran to all the different places and looked in there, YouTuber. By the way, YouTuberian, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel. How are you tonight? But no, you're absolutely right. I should have been looting while I was doing that. I wasn't. And I even had you know, having the M2, it's got plenty of internal, you know, capacity. So I should have been for sure. All right, we'll keep on looking here. We're specific, you know, our use case, you guys, tonight is giant rocks, anything over 6,000 mass and high percentages. We've only found 170,500 at 20.89%. We easily cracked that with the Waveshift. So we're looking for anything bigger than that if we can. One more big rock at least tonight. Oh, there's some doublers right there. So let's see. You know, I'll pivot on these guys and we'll take a look at them. Kind of boost it up there. That's awesome. YouTuberian says, I'm mining the air in Halo for fun and profit. I love the air in Halo. I do. I know that there's a lot of dead rocks there, but, you know, mining in the air in Halo, having a little anonymity, a little peace and quiet, not a bad thing at all. I grab a sip of water here. Very nice rock. This is actually a 30... what is that? A 3683 at 35%. So if we were mining tonight, we'd be mining that thing for sure. But we're, like I said, special use case tonight for sure is these great big rocks at high percentages for mining gadget stuff. Colton says, how big is this ship? Great question, Colton. It's about this big. It's the Prospector is not a huge ship. It's a little guy. But it's you know, it's got a little bit of living space in it, and Prospector is my favorite ship in the game. Chad says, you know, I find large mass rocks all the time, and you find tons of rock that would be perfect for regular solo. I know, that's what's happening, Chad. I have found so many, like 49%ers, you know, 44%ers. If you go back to the stream, I found a ton of decent, of halfway decent rocks, you know, that I could have mined all day long. But, you know, I'm looking for that specific edge case, and I'm, you know, and I will say, it's funny, I'm not getting any, I wonder if I'm 30K'd. I bet you I am. I'm not getting any results back. There were tons of results I was getting, so I have a, no, there they look at it recovered. That's cool. So yeah, it is funny though. You're absolutely right. I am finding all sorts of things I could mine, but I am not. You know, I'm not mining them. But because I'm, you know, if for some reason I was mining them, it would be in 3.16. They'd be huge rocks that I couldn't mine. So, yeah, that's how us miners always. That's our how we are. Oh, here's some doublers. We'll take a look at these guys. Alrighty. Hoping we're having some decent sized mass rocks here. This doesn't surprise me that they're not loading because you know I had that little bit of lag on the ping. So we'll just go ahead and get down here and hey, I'm turning the man. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and try. I think the server's starting to flounder just a touch. So, Felix says the days you aren't mining are the days you find your best rocks. Felix, that is so true. That is 100% true. And then Raymond says, how's your thirst and hunger? Because I hear it's a bigger thing at 3.17. That's a good question. I'm at 69% thirst, so not terrible. You can see it right down there. I figure it did seem like the server was starting to kind of have that moment, you guys, for sure. So we 30K'd, which is no big deal. We will just go ahead and see if we can get back in there. We may or may not be able to. And no big deal whatsoever. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to throw the BRB, and I'm just going to reload the game. So give me 1 second. And I will fix this right away. Yep, and that's to be expected. The old 30Ks when you're on the PTU. Nothing I wouldn't have thought wasn't going to happen for sure. And so yeah, I mean, I absolutely 100% was surprised actually how long it did last. So we were actually had a pretty darn good stream going there for a while, and it worked out great. And we're gonna go ahead and reload the game real quick here, and get back in there and let it do its thing. So it's reloading now. If you just kind of bear with, it won't be just but a second or two. And yeah, it's just 30Ks are just something that happens in the. And to be honest with you, 30Ks have been really stable, knock on wood, in the PU. But they haven't been terribly, in the PTU, as you all know, it's pretty common to have 30Ks. It is what it is. Nothing to worry about there. It's just, kind of how it goes. All right, so without further ado, we're back. We'll go ahead and just pick best, and in we go. And Felix is absolutely right. He says it's always funny when you can sense a 30K coming. I could sense it coming, right? Because I pinged and I stopped getting ping responses. Then all of a sudden they came back. So the server kind of started getting into a chug, a little bit. Yeah, Mauricio says same thing happened to him several times. Chad says joystick is for joystick and joystick 1 is throttle. You'll see. Oh yeah, that's right, Chad. Rayoman says love the Hull A. Might pledge for one if it becomes a starter package. I think the Hull A is cool. First of all, I really liked when they put out the Argo's raft. I really thought Argo's raft was cool with the external storage on the raft. I really like the Hull A. They've been doing a great job with these industrial ships. To be honest with you, I really like the Mystic Expanse. I mean, not just to kind of go down that road. Just its design is cool. It's just a different looking ship. I mean, really did enjoy that. Colton says, how's the update? You know what? There's some things that I like about the update for sure. And so you'll see it'll be a little choppy when you first get out of bed here. I've noticed that when I first get on these PTUs. It's a touch choppy. That normally will kind of work itself out as we kind of get loaded in and get some assets loaded. But not uncommon for sure. And so, yeah. Absolutely love it. I am just going to take a look at one thing real quick here. Oh. Whoops. I looked down and... Hold on just one sec. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can't get the... we'll have to see how the 30K protection worked. Hopefully the 30K protection worked good. It had been. This is not uncommon to have the... when you're first loading in on a server, to have the NPCs kind of doing the old lineup there. You can see. It's always a little strange, but that's what they do.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
All right, so yeah, okay, yeah, so we already got 30K protection. You can see Lyria, but it's in retrieve. So we'll go ahead and retrieve it.
Stand by. Welcome. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
All right, pad 2. We'll double check and make sure that our mining gadgets are in there for sure before we take off. We'll get on pad 2 here and start heading up. That's awesome. Oh, so Felix says, I love the Expanse too. Oh, Elson says you don't lose stuff with 30K anymore. No, you don't. There's 30K protection. When you do, you know, obviously it's not always perfect, but there is 30K protection. When the server crashes, it'll come back where it will say retrieve, and you'll get your stuff back in there. Great question, Elsid. And a very cool feature update that kind of really helps with trading, as you can imagine, and those types of things. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And so Colton says, what ship is that? $1,100 on the starter pack. So that's the you know, that's that Carrick pack. I think Chad Lawson says it should be in game for purchase in 3.18. The Hull A, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Storm says, how do I update to 3.17? Storm, that is the PTU. It's the public test universe, and you can set that up through you know, depending on what wave you're allowed to do it in. You can set it up in off of the RSI site. Log into your hangar and look at the PTU options. That's cool. Raymond says $80 now, not bad. Jeff, that's cool. Chad and Colton are chatting there. Colton says the SSD should be coming tomorrow. Colton's getting an SSD, you guys, and I know he's really excited. I think he ordered the 970, if I'm not, if I'm remembering correctly. Is that right, Colton? That's not a bad. That's a halfway decent. For sure. Oh, jeez. I'm trying to use my sticks, you guys. That's so funny. Trying to use my sticks. Back off to Lyria we go. We're going to look for more big rocks. History teacher. How are you today, history teacher? Welcome to the channel. Nice to see you. Please tell me the Prospector HUD has been fixed. History teacher, feast your eyes on the clarity, if you will, of the Prospector HUD. It is better. It is definitely better in 3.17. History teacher. Felix Jen says, when did the ASOP start speaking? Felix, the ASOP is in 3.17 is getting a nice little update. As a matter of fact, many of the little of the ASOP terminals, many of the selling terminals, they all have different like starting screens. Really cool looking a UI there. I think it's because they've got the building block stuff going. You know, they're starting to chip away. There's so many things that they are little granular things that they don't list in the notes or whatever that have improved significantly. Colton Hill says yes. History teacher says yay. And so off back to R Corp we go. And you know, I probably should have looked in my double check. I know I have one on my back though, so we're good there. Yeah, look at them. I mean, you can tell it is way cleaner. I mean, it looks way better. Nice and crisp. You know, the one thing I haven't tried in 3.17, I'm kind of curious. You used to be able to, I don't seem to be able to do it here. Look at that. It's being a little grumpy. What about this thing? Can I go to this one? Notice I can't click power on those. I was just kind of curious if I could. No. It's funny, I can click target status, and maybe I just am not in the right spot there. Notice heat, comms. I wonder if maybe I have to scroll down here. Just trying to do power. No. I was wondering if you could overclock. You remember we used to be able to overclock your mining lasers? I was just wondering if you could do that in 3.17. I hadn't tried before, so I was kind of curious about that. I'd like to overclock the Helix if I could, please, again. Now I got to go explore and see if all the ASOPs have the same voices and which one I like the best. I feel like this is a great idea. Colton Hill says, I only have 111 gigabyte for storage on the external. James G, not a name I recognize. Welcome aboard. Does the mole still seem like it's falling when mining constantly bounce up and down? Imagine spending real money and it's crapped out like that. You know, James, that's desync. People who fly in the mole are familiar with exactly what you're talking about. I haven't done any mole testing yet in 3.17. I've mostly been flying around solo. So I don't know, but they have talked about some desync fixes. I want to use the word fixes, but I want to be careful. They certainly have talked about addressing desync some. And so it will be interesting to see if that does translate to the mole, but I don't have specifics about that. But I absolutely am familiar with what it is you're talking about. I mole mine every Thursday with the org, and there definitely can be desync, and it feels like you're kind of falling out of the mole, and it's scary. It's like it can be a nuisance. It's annoying. And, you know, if the server's nice and stable, it doesn't happen much. It does happen more, we find, when somebody's not in the driver's seat for whatever reason. I don't know if there's something about that. So especially if you're soloing in the mole, of course you're going to experience it because you're not in the pilot seat. If you're, you know, so it is something that we've noticed that when somebody's, you know, it happens less when somebody's piloting the mole. I don't exactly know why. History teacher says, have you found a good hotkey assignment through request for landing? I use delete. You know, and here's how I did that, history teacher. I went to, you know, I went here and I went to options and I went to key bindings and I was looking at key bindings and I didn't see a whole lot of, look at delete's kind of grayed out. Like nothing's on it. So I just stuck it on delete for now. I don't know if that's good or bad. You know, but it seemed like it was a decent choice because it's like grayed out, and delete was working fine when I, you know, so that's the one that I picked. Chad Lawson says, yeah, it's not used. Oh, F3, that's an excellent choice too. It's not used and it's awesome. Rayoman says, Colton Hell, I hope it's a good one and it gives you good performance. Yeah, for sure. You know that, you know, having you know, that landing thing on one key is such a nice quality of life feature, for sure. All right, so we're back at it again, you guys. We're looking, you know, we obviously 30K'd our way to a hydrogen top off and a quantum top off. We're looking good there. Game glass is Phaedrus. I need to get into that game glass stuff too. It would be kind of cool just having some, you know, things mapped a certain way. I would really like to check out the game glass stuff. You know, one of these days I'm gonna go full nerd and really. Wonder how my wife's gonna feel about that. You know, when I have like this crazy, all this game glass stuff, eye tracker, you know, pedals, you know, that type of thing. You know, just like a full bore. You know, it's gonna be hilarious. Colton says, when where the M2 slot is, the SSD is not there. Bought the PC from some kid near me, and I didn't realize until yesterday. Oh yeah, you know, kind of understanding how you know the way the motherboard's laid out. It's an important thing when you're doing upgrades for sure. I'm sure you probably are learning that along the way. It's always a healthy thing to know. Raymond says, which reminds me, at some point we will have to get a higher capacity drive. Yeah, you know, nothing wrong with that. I have a 1 terabyte SSD, and then I have, you know, like a storage. And the 1 terabyte SSD, I usually keep about 600 free on it. Now, of course, I do stream and I do shoot some videos on it, but I'm very good about, you know, kind of cleaning up the raw files when I'm done. So I try and keep around between 500 and 600 free on the SSD. You know, you definitely want a little wiggle room on there. You don't want to have that thing get too tight, that's for sure. All right, you guys, we're back to looking for rocks. We're looking for one more big rock that we can stick a mining gadget on for sure, at the minimum tonight. And so, because we're looking for a fairly low percentage rock, right? It's a 6,000 mass plus at a high percentage. We haven't found a lot of those tonight. We did break a 7,500 mass at 20%, easy. With the Waveshift, like super easy, like scary easy, and so that was kind of fun, and nice. Colton says I got a 500 gigabyte. Yeah, no problem. I think that's a good one, Colton. Nothing wrong with that. James G says I want eye tracker. I sit too far away. Max being 37 inches away, and I sit 45. Oh yeah, I am a sit a little closer. I think primarily because I have the 1000 R curve on the Odyssey G9. And so I definitely probably, what are you saying? The max is 37? Yeah, I'm easily within 37, I would say. I'm up pretty close. I would get closer if I needed to, if I had the eye tracker. I bet you I'm maybe 28 inches or so where my eyes are at from my, if I were to guess, like around that. I don't know why, random number. Star Citizen's 80 gig, yep. Does AUEC gain from the PTU transfer to the PU Felix? No, it does not. So that's why I'm not really out here mining per se, and you know, and you know, I'm out here just testing the new gadgets. And then, but they do, that's absolutely right. Chad's saying, and it's true, they give you 15 million AUEC. So if you want to buy a ship, try it out, if you want to go pick up some things, in the test universe, they give you plenty of money, more than you'd ever start with in the normal game, for sure. So, something to think about, you know, if you ever like, you know, you could always use the PTU, because I was thinking, like, I've been really thinking about, you know, I've never tried to put the ROC in the back of the old Nomad before, and I was thinking about, you know, it's like, it's kind of nice because you have plenty of AUEC to go do stuff like that. Phaedra says, I mounted my Toby on my Wheelstand Pro. It's on my TV. If it's on my TV, it's too far away. Thinking about switching to a Monster Tech rig right now. When you say Monster Tech rig, are you talking about like some kind of a way, like a some kind of a desk style like system or whatever with Monster Tech stuff? Phaedrus? This is an interesting question there. Colton Hill says, awesome, I can't wait to install it. What screw do I need to install? I think it should come with them. It normally comes with them, I think, on the installation screws for those. Hey, there's some doublers. Alright, let's cross our fingers here and see if we can find... Now that is a good mass, a 6796 mass. This could be a decent rock, you guys. I really do hope that's a good sliver there on a big mass. 25%er. We're probably going to go break this one. It's not bigger than the one we broke earlier, but it is a higher percentage of Quantanium. And so that's the type of rock that I'm looking to break right there. Right? If you look at it, it's a 6796, but at 25.83%. So I have broken... I broke a 6700 that was a 20... I think I've broken this rock. I think in my last stream I broke, it was about a 6700 at 26%. So I think I probably will pull away from this one now that I think about it. It's not quite though, you know. Well, you know what? I used the Boremax on that though. Let me I'm just gonna throw that Waveshift on this guy. And I think I will mine this guy. You know, just for posterity. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. We'll get it nice and tight there and head down. How are we looking? Nice and clean. Beautiful landing. We'll go ahead and kill the engines. Alright. We'll do a little mining. Yeah, History Teacher, doesn't the HUD look so much better? I agree with that 100%. It does. It looks super clean. Phaedra says, Nubifier just set up a pair of Monster Tech rigs, one for car. Yeah, that's exactly where I've seen those. I know what you're talking about, Phaedrus. I know video. I know who you're talking about as well. Newbie just set all that stuff up. Phenom, look at that, 35.9 SCU, he says. Yeah, Phenom, you know, and we're here testing these mining gadgets like the Waveshift, like on my back right there. So that's what we're, you know, we're going to go ahead. Look at this nice, flat, even side to kind of love it here. So number one, we're going to hit 4. It looks like, and it makes it look like we're dropping all sorts of stuff, but we're not. I'm going to get nice and close here. And then I'm going to get place. Well, she placed right on there just fine. And let's take a look. It's just kind of analyzing. We're at 68%. Let's, oh, kind of weird. Kind of got strange there for a sec. Let's kind of move the axial scatter. Oh, yeah. Let's get that back into the 71 range. Okay. Well, it's being a little funny about the height here. Yeah. Yeah, it keeps kind of wiggling around. I don't know why it's doing that, but no big deal. We'll get there. Alrighty. $87. We gotta kind of keep moving it. Looks like 87 there as well. We're looking for it to get into the 90s. There we are. I see 96 there. I've never seen it go over 98 before. So we're kind of monkeying around with the field range there a little bit. Oh, no. Oh, hold on. A little touchy. All right, and let's just mess with the scatter just a little bit too. 95, 98. Can I get higher than that? Nope, 98's the best I've ever seen it. So we'll activate that guy. And you can see she's very clearly activated on there now. And this is a size rock we've broken before, but no big deal. Absolutely excellent use case to try it. Decent percentage of Quantanium in it as well. History teacher says, Space Shorts, your video on how to make money with hand mining was great. I checked out a couple of your other videos, and you've earned a subscriber. History teacher, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I truly do appreciate it. I love when you know, my videos help people kind of get comfortable with some kind of a mining loop in Star Citizen. I love mining in Star Citizen. I'm sure you guys hear that I sound overjoyed a lot of times on the stream. I really do enjoy this. Up we go. Thank you so much. Those are very kind words, and they do mean a lot to me, truly. Chad Lawson says, at Colton Hill, it's a special screw. The guy, yeah, there are, put those in. They are special ones for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the old mining laser head. Now, you can see the resistance is 0.35. You guys, it kind of takes a minute, like almost a server tick. Like this happened the last time. So let's keep an eye on the resistance together, right? And someone pointed out in the stream earlier too. If you notice, right now the instability, the resistance is 0.35. At some point, I seen it go down, and I wasn't sure if it had to do with the Brant or with the Lancet or what. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. Oh, I put 24%. It's 25.83, a 67.96. Phenom, yep, no problem. James G says, can't wait for 3.17 to go live. 3.16 has been hell today. Yeah, I understand completely. I am really looking forward to 3.17 to go live. I do know that they've got some issues to work out, though. Big old sip of water there. Now look, these wave shifts are great. Look at my optimal windows popped pretty much wide open. You know, that's a beautiful optimal window. Instability is kind of, you know, in a rough area, it says, but it's not swinging that wildly. So I just don't think it's doing an update for the Lancet properly. We are building charge level in here. And so we'll just kind of keep at this. And there it goes. Maybe it is swinging that wildly. That was a pretty interesting climb. Now I am gonna just do one thing because I'm kind of curious if it happens. I'm gonna fire a Brant just because the last time I did this and look at the Brant, it didn't actually change anything as far as the instability goes. So it's almost weird, like the consumables aren't stacking per se with. And you can see the resistance, though, it did change to 0.8. Look at the instability, went down to 0.42. So it did update that, you guys. You know, so now you've kind of stuck the Brant on top of what the Waveshift was already doing. We've got a 69, 6700 mass rock, which was never breakable before in 3.16. And I mean, you know, kind of on the ropes here. It's definitely climbing up into the optimal. It seems to be pretty respectful. It hasn't jumped into the green yet. If it doesn't get into the green by 30 seconds, which is about 9 away, it's probably, you know, the Brant will fall out of there before it finishes. but it's okay. I'm not even agitating, you know, or anything like that. I'm just staying in one spot with the laser, you know, and I probably could have more brand to fire there if I want. I don't necessarily need the brand on first break, but it's one of those things where, you know, just kind of keeping an eye on it. It is still kind of hanging out around 90% or so. It will work its way up there. It definitely is going to take a little time. The brand's going to fall off here in about 6 or 7 seconds, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes after that. So the brand just fell off. You guys could hear that, and it is kind of jumping now up into the optimal. I'm rolling way back down. It definitely kind of started getting a little bit. Oh, you can see it. That actually jumped up into the overcharge for just a sec, but I was able to swing it back out. There is some lag going on. I'm actually articulating and noticing it's not moving that. It's not articulating as fast as I would have expected it. No big deal though. Easily gonna break this guy. You know, it is climbing up there again. I'm wheeling, just kind of mouse wheeling up and down, just kind of going with what is kind of the trend with the optimal, and there we go. So yeah, that was an easy break, you guys. It wasn't hard at all. You know, I didn't need the optimum at all. I really honestly was just fine without it, but it was fire the optimum, fire. You know, but yeah, that was, I mean, it's a 6700 mass rock. Those aren't getting broken in 3.16. You're not breaking that size rock without a stampede and a surge, for sure. So that's a good thing to know. We're gonna go try to recover the, you know, we're gonna recover the mining gadget now if we can. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, depending on, you know, how it broke. And, you know, of course, the last time I almost got squished. If you were, for those who are on the stream at the moment, like the rock shifted at the last moment when I was trying to pick it up. It almost got me. So we'll try and be careful out there. But yeah, it's awesome. You know, I really still am hoping to find something like that's a more of an, you know, like a 7500. That's at a really, man, look how massive these things are. You need to jump up here and run around. Oh, maybe not. Where did that guy go? Do we see? I don't see it anywhere. Let me kind of look in here. No, I don't see it. I don't see that. That one doesn't look like it's recoverable. You know, it kind of looks like, if I were to guess, well, I'm just going to wander around the whole thing. I don't see it anywhere. Oh, look at that. That's crazy looking. Huh. Yeah, I definitely don't see it underneath there at all. Interesting. Yeah, History Teacher says, I can confirm that a solo prospector can't break a 6700 mass rocket any greater than 20% in 3.16. I've tried multiple times. Yeah, you can't. Nope, not at all. 5900 mass is really, it's starting to get up there. You're not breaking 6700s with a Lancet. That's for sure. Mad Titan says sometimes they fall through the planet. Yes, sometimes they do. You're absolutely right, Mad. And I've got plenty of them inside the Prospectors, you know, in the ship inventory. So we won't complain about that. Look at right above the, I don't know if you guys can see that as us climbing up the ladder, but you can see one of the planets up there. I think it must be ArcCorp up above my head. So beautiful. It does look smooth. Break the rocks down further? Sure, I could do that. No problem. I'll break one. We'll find one nice one, and I'll break it down, and we'll go from there. That's if I have some brants, you know, on board. You know, we don't want to be too inefficient, but we'll go ahead and fire up the engines, and up we go. All right, let's see how it broke. Yeah, how about that guy right there? There's an 821, right? That looks like it's going to be 100%er to me. Or darn close. 87.93%er. I'll take that. We'll go ahead and just break that guy down. So that's going to end up at a 2.39 instability. This would be exactly why I like to fire a brand, right? So this guy's going to kind of come up here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Look at how nice, look at how clean the laser intensity percentage number is now too. That's a lot different looking. 30%. 33. It's climbing up there. So yeah, the mining gadgets do kind of get lost sometimes, or you know, I don't know if destroyed's the right word, but they definitely they're not always recoverable, and that's okay. I mean, I think it's worth getting out and taking a look for. So you know, that brought this down to a 0.59 instability, very manageable. It did kind of it did creep up it there in the overcharge for just a sec. It's trying to a 10% as well. But we kind of brought it down to 3%, and well, we'll kind of trying to keep it honest here. Swinging a little bit wild, but that's not you know, nothing we can't handle. This is kind of why I like packing the Brants on, you know, for these breaks, you know, for these higher instability breaks for sure.
Warning, power critical.
Had to kill the laser there just a second as it jumped up. Definitely getting some lag here, but easy break nonetheless. And I would say, yep, there you go. Easy peasy. That was, you know, lemon squeezy. You know, would have, you know, obviously a, you know, a nice bit of Quantanium here for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at this other rock. So a lot of it, you know, that was an 820 some. Okay, nothing in there. There must be, this piece must have some in it for sure. No. All right. Well, how about there must be? Oh yeah, it's down there. That guy there, maybe. Yeah, that is 1,000, and that's 100% or at 1,024. So yeah. Now we're not mining this stuff today, so you know. But you know, we'll take a run at it at least a little bit. We want to get into an optimal range. You know, just give it a little bit of laser intensity to begin with. Can you equip mining consumables on the go in 3.17? No, you have to kind of have everything kind of ready to go before you leave. Sounds like you buy the chip components directly in the inventory. But I haven't really tested that, but I don't think that's a thing yet, Felix. So 2.5 instability, you know, that should come down pretty significantly. Yeah, there's definitely some lag. I mean, I'm rolling it back, you guys. I was rolling it back for a while there before it responded. And this is why the FLTRXL and really I always have, you know, I stack Brants on there. This is the main reason, is because when you get these big chunks that have, you know, they're 2.5 instability, they can be difficult. You know, you can attach, one thing I will tell you though is you can attach the mining gadgets to the secondary brakes as well. You absolutely can. You know, I could have gone in there for sure and put a Stabir in there or something along that, and it would have made it much easier to brake as well. So it's kind of interesting if, you know, yeah, you can see right there. I mean, that would be quite a bit of Quantanium if we wanted to pull that in. So I think we're going to look around maybe for one more rock for a little while longer and see if we can find one other big rock to break. We've really had a successful stream here today. You know, I mean, being able to break these 6,000, you know, 6700s, you know, a couple of them, you know, without any problem. A 7500 at 20% and a 6700 at 26% with a Waveshift. So we've been easily able to break rocks that are way outside of your range in 3.16, which is really kind of what the goal was today. All right, so we're going to kind of keep on cruising here. We're looking for one more big rock. I'd really like to find something that's like a 7500 at like 40%. Something that's got some, you know, a real good percentage of Quantanium in there. We'll have to see. You know, and there's definitely some lag on the server. Just a touch. Hey, there's a cluster, you guys. This is, you know, a lot of opportunities here. We will kind of see how it goes. That is awesome. Nice big cluster, too. Beautiful cluster. So that's a 2900 mass rock right there. Hey, look at this. Kojak says, I'm just so happy the mining mode interface looks so much nicer. It does. It looks way nicer. It's clean. It absolutely is clean. Mad Titan says a tractor beam in the Prospector would be nice to move less valuable rocks. You know something, Mad Titan? When we really have changed our meta. We have Prospector breaking teams on our organization nights. So you have 2 Prospectors that will work as a team, and they'll go out in front and break, and then we'll use the moles to scoop. But we're actually starting to use the Prospectors. If there's a big piece of inert in the way, they'll just, because they're not hauling, they'll just suck it up, and then they'll suck up a little Quantanium and jettison. So we're actually starting to use our Prospector braking teams in a way that, instead of having like a tractor beam where you grab it and move it away, we're having the Prospectors pull the trash away by just kind of extracting it, and then just grabbing like 1 or 2 like units of Quantanium, letting them get into overcharge, and then letting them give it the first alarm, and then just jettisoning them. It's crazy. History Teacher says signing out. Thank you for joining, History Teacher. I really did appreciate it. Ramon says looking forward to 3.17 when it goes live. Yeah, it's going to be great. 3 more rocks to scan here. We're looking for something with a decent size. Nothing there. This looks like it could be a good size rock. 5904. Not gonna do it. Last but not least, Mad Titan says interesting. That is useful. I know. I mean, it's one of those things, Matt. It's as you kind of it's weird. I mean, and I won't take credit for that particular thought. It was one of the guys in our org, kind of thought about that. But it is a good idea if you have like a braking team, how they can just kind of pull up the junk, move it out of, just extract the junk, pull, they can hold, of course, between themselves 64, SCU of just trash rocks, and then they can pull in a little bit of Quantanium and just jettison if they need to. So, and I mean, when I say a little bit, I mean like, just hit a Quantanium rock, even if it's like a 2%er. Just pull in a little bit of Quantanium. It will go unstable, and then you can just jettison it. Is there a video on jettison? Hey, Kojak, if you go look at a couple streams ago, I did a jettison stream, and I actually put a link in the description that basically will take you right to the spot where I do the jettison. So yeah, if you look at one of my old streams, it was a jettison stream. It was a Quantanium and coffee stream, but it said practicing jettison, and I think it's only a couple of streams ago. And in there it says what we're up to is jettison, and then if you look like right at the top, there's a link you can click. It's a timestamp, and it will take you right to the moment I did the jettison stuff, and I explain kind of how it works and that type of thing. But I am actually going to do like a more detailed video on it. But yeah, that was just a couple of days ago. It is kind of a critical mining skill, so it's something you definitely want to know. So, alright, well, we're going to keep on looking here and see if we can find something that's like a real big mass with a real big percentage. I was really hoping to find something that's like up in the 8,000 range, so I could like attach multiple. I wanted to stick 2 or 3 mining gadgets on one rock, because you can do that, you guys. So, but we've already had an incredibly successful stream breaking what we were able to break tonight. Alrighty. Yeah, jettison 32 of SU, Quant over Jane. It's funny, Felix, I was thinking about, like kind of, you could turn your Prospector into kind of like a, kind of a sleeper type thing, because you could get some Quantanium on board, and then, oh, that's just the Prospector, no worries. And then just kind of land next to somebody, but have it be full of Quant, and, Definitely. Oh, look at that. There's a nice 3633. That is a really nice rock. Another one we'd absolutely be mining if we were mining. So. Absolutely would have been mining if we were mining, right? That's for sure. So, but we're not. We're just out here doing some testing, and we're looking for something like literally like a 7,500. That's a high percentage. We already broke a 7,500 at a pretty medium percentage easily. or at, you know, at like 20%. That was an easy break. I mean, 7,500 rock that you're breaking is pretty crazy. Ah, Kojak says found it. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's a good video to watch, and it kind of, you know, it definitely was me learning the jettison mechanics, and you know, I'm wanting to share it with you guys. That is awesome. Beautiful. Couple of opportunities over this way. We'll go ahead and fly over them and see if we get lucky. Those are gem icons down there that we just passed. What's the biggest rock you found in Mind? You know, of course, there are 8,500s or so, James. You know, they normally require a couple people to break. So that's usually, I think the cap must be around there. I mean, I've seen quite a few 8,400s and 8,500s. They don't get much bigger than that. In space, for whatever reason, the arbitrary number is 5122. I have no idea where that number comes from or why. But that's the biggest rock you find in space. So on the planet side or the moon sides, you can find them is up to, you know, 8,500. I think I think that must be the cap, because I've never seen them over that. I don't know if anybody has a different experience with that. Oh, those are gems. But yeah, that's a pretty good indicator of the sizes there. Ramoyne says, I'm Space Shorts. I apologize. I just checked your channel and you have loads of Star Citizen content. I have lots of catching up to do. No problem. That's awesome. No, I appreciate that. And, you know, I mean, obviously, if you enjoy most of what I do is mining, you know, so, you know, I'm sure it gets a touch repetitive, you know, but it's so great because, I mean, people still check in, even if they kind of know how the stream goes. There's a lot of people who just kind of check in and enjoy kind of chatting for a little while, or sharing some experiences, or telling us their, you know, something new they tried, or that type of thing. So that's what's kind of cool, is we have a really awesome community of some really nice people who just kind of come and hang out with us on the regular, which is cool. 4123 there. That's not what we're looking for. 6743, but that's not going to be the, definitely not going to be the percentage we're looking for. Nope, nowhere near. Kojak says, I just learned many tips from watching your streams. Thank you. No problem. That's what we're all about, is just kind of helping people learn and learning ourselves, and having you guys, you know, like I say all the time on the channel, I learn from you guys so much, like so many tips or tricks. You know, earlier, you know, for instance, the, you know, deleting the cache window. There's some doublers right there. You know, that type of stuff. Oh, my stars. You guys, that's the beauty of, you know, we all kind of come together. Everybody likes to chit-chat about, you know, Star Citizen, do a little theory crafting. You know, can get, you know, really, really enjoyable, you know, when everybody's kind of communicating and talking. So how much UEC could you make out of one load of Quantanium with the Prospector? My math, around $250,000. It's 3,200 times 88. But there are some, you know, you have your fuel costs and your refining costs. But I can't remember the exact number. It's around $250,000 though. You know, so a full uni load's around $250,000, and you can get lucky and get a couple of those back to back in a day, easy. I mean, you can make $1 million a day mining for sure. I mean, it's not even terribly hard. You know, if you have a few hours and you get lucky. Drax says, it's like watching NASCAR. We just waiting to see blow some blow. I'll tell you, Drac. You know, it's true. Things can blow up for sure. Mad Titan says, I know there's a limited info on the ship, but do you have any vids on the Expanse might be used effectively theory crafting? There are some videos on my channel about the Expanse. I do talk a little bit of how I think the Expanse is going to be a critical piece of any kind of an advanced flotilla. Like for instance, if you're tucking a like some kind of a flotilla, if you will, or multiple ships in say Pyro, the Expanse would be a critical ship for that. You know, you'd have your refueling ships, your your repair ships, your rearmament ships, and then of course you would have you would definitely need your refining ship as well, because you're going to need the raw materials. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's a little bit of theory crafting on the Expanse for sure. And so you could absolutely check that out there, Titan, for sure. I think it's definitely one on the Expanse. Well, this is weird, you guys. I don't see the rock there. Whatever. Ramon says, space sharks are not a problem. I mainly haul, but occasionally explore and Elite Dangerous. I would like to do the same in SC. You know, I love, there's nothing wrong with being a space trucker. I really enjoy that part of the game as well. And did a little bit of cargo running myself last night. And that's my gameplay as well. A little bit more industrial. Obviously sometimes you have to put up your dukes a little bit and do some fighting, but for the most part, just mine occasionally, haul, explore, just kind of tool around and have a good time. Mike Anderson, how you doing tonight, Mike? Good to see you. Is there any reason you were flying so low? I was under the assumption that flying higher in the atmosphere saves fuel. Does flying low give you advantage to scanning? No, the main reason, Mike, is because in 3.17 here, it seems like I have to get really close to the rocks in order for the rock icons to pop. So, in many cases, I'm kind of giving them a visual as I fly by. Just in case it happens to be a single, rock that's Quantanium. So I'm kind of I'm definitely giving it kind of a visual. That's one of the reasons I'm so low. YouTube Arian says 3,200 by 88 equals 281,000, minus your fuel and ship repair and all that. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you make a lot of money. That's great math, YouTube Arian, and for sure you can make a lot of money mining. Bad Titan says, I was thinking the Liberator plus the Prospector Expanse would be. Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, the Liberators, it's got the repairing capability. Yeah, I mean, you can land the Prospector on the Liberator. I wonder if the Expanse would fit on the Liberator as well. That is an excellent question. Yeah, just the Liberator itself, and then having those ships on there. That's a fantastic idea for sure. Felix Johnson says, the Starfarer is a refueling ship. Who refuels the Starfarer? It's a great question, and it's a question that I have definitely had about the Expanse, right? So the Expanse turns this refined Quantanium. It would be awesome if you could deliver refined Quantanium to the Starfarer and it could do something with that, like turn it into fuel. But it does seem like there's going to have to be some kind of something turns refined Quantanium into fuel, because it's not in a fuel mode. So I don't know about that. I was actually thinking about asking, maybe asking the Galactic Historian or maybe Info Runners that question one of these days and see if they had a thought on that. I know that there's, I had a chat with, not a chat, but I posted on one of the Info Runners videos, an essay came back and said that he didn't think that Execute was exactly 100% on what he was thinking for some of the refueling stuff. So I think they had a video about what ships would you what would be the smallest fleet that you could have for survival. Pretty cool video, loved it. Anyways, James G says, it's a shame other places in Stanton don't provide the amount and size of Quant Rocks and Lyria. Yeah, you're right about that. It definitely seems like I spend a lot of time on Lyria just because the meta's so good, James. You're absolutely right. Moyne says, that's not to say I haven't done any ship-to-ship combat. I've done bounties and some wet works, assassination and elite, but mainly self-defense. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I absolutely occasionally do a little bit of there's no way you're going to fly around in the Star Citizen universe and not end up doing some combat now and then. And of course, in the organization, even though that I'm in the industrial part of our organization, you do have to back up, the combat, the FPS guys and the flight combat guys, and so you will find yourself fighting on the front lines from time to time. I mean, there are times when you get into an operation and all of a sudden you become the soft underbelly, but the front line. And get hit, and you definitely got to be able to defend yourself. Star Citizen's not, and I'm happy that it's not going to be. It's not going to be always an easy world. There's going to be, I'm coming from the perspective of a sheep among wolves. I'm happy that it's going to be a dangerous world. It's going to make it far more exciting. I think SC combat is tough. And more unforgiving, so I've avoided exploring side of the game for now. And the one thing I will say is, it is unforgiving, and sometimes it's unforgiving because it's not working right, and that's a different kind of unforgiving too. So I think it'll be interesting to see how we can push the envelope when everything is groovy, and everything is kind of just working exactly the way that it should. So excellent points, Romoy, for sure. All right, you guys. Well, we have found we've cracked some beautiful rocks tonight. 7,500 at 20%, 20.89, and then a 6,700 at 26%. Both times with the Waveshift, easy breaks, and then broke down. Did a little bit more breaking down. We still haven't found that holy grail rock tonight that we've been looking for, which is that that 8,000 mass at 30%, something like that. Something along those lines. A 7,500 or a 7,700 at like 45%. I was really hoping to find one of those tonight. We're going to give it a little while longer for the search, but even if we don't find that, we're not going to complain. It's definitely been a wonderful, it's been an absolutely wonderful night tonight, flying around and looking for these things. And the conversation, one of the things I like to say is the stream was great. The company was better. You guys, it really was a special night tonight. There was a lot of new faces that popped on and have shared and talked, and I really have enjoyed that. Like if I were to, there's such a long list of, been such a pleasure talking to people from all over the world on the stream. It's been so mind-blowing to me. I mean, we've had like India and Tasmania, Australia, UK, Denmark, Portugal, Ireland, Scotland, lots of places in the United States. It's just been so refreshing. South America. It's just been great. I mean, I've really enjoyed. It's so cool that that mining is kind of a universal language in Star Citizen. It really is. People enjoy it from all over the world. Canada. It's really it really is. I really do enjoy that part of this game. I mean, this game is really an international thing. So, have they made any more mention of exploration on SC? Mudbath55 is asking. Not a ton. It really is. It's really going to be interesting to see how the exploration game loop works. Francois says from Canada. Yeah, Francois, that's awesome, Francois. And four is, I don't know if you guys who are newer on the channel. I know four's been busy. Brent was on the stream earlier, but he joins me on the stream from time to time, and he's from Canada, and I just love chatting with Four. He's a great guy to chat with when you go mining. Super fun guy, and will join me on many streams to come, I'm sure, in the future. Mad Titan says, I was thinking the Starfarer might refine from refined quant plus additives to liquid Quantanium fuel, where the expanse goes from unrefined quant to refined quant. See, that's a good question, Mad, for sure. Ramon says, I'll be keeping an eye out for your streams. Now I've subscribed. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I was thinking the Starfarer might refine from refined quant plus additives to liquid quant fuel. That's what I would like to see. Some kind of a meta where you deliver refined Quantanium from the expanse to the Starfarer, and somehow, it can turn that into fuel. That would be... Then of course, the Starfarer can scoop hydrogen and if you bring Quantanium refined to it, it could make you. Then you are absolutely, your hydrogen and your Quantanium needs are, your quantum needs are dealt with for your exploration fleet. That's exactly right. Oi, the Bumbler says, hey, Mr. Shorts, haven't caught a stream in a while. Great to see your channel is doing so well. Oi, it's good to see you. How have you been, Oi? Francois says, oh, we know lots of truckers here. Yeah, that's true, Francois. And you know what? Good. I mean, those there's nothing wrong with just wanting, standing up for your freedoms a little bit. I think I don't talk on that stuff too much, but obviously it's not an easy gig trucking, and so, but yeah, I hear what you're saying, for sure. James G says, it's nearly 2 a.m. here in the UK. Think I might better get some shut-eye. James, I completely understand, for sure. I know that it gets late. I try and stream earlier on Saturdays and Sundays, just because I know that there's lots of folks that from your area, that like to come and chat on the stream. So look, if you happen to be around on a Saturday or a Sunday, a little earlier, I usually start, would probably be more around 6 your time. I try and squeeze them in a little earlier. So I hope that, if you happen to get some shut-eye, James, have a lovely night. Thank you for joining today, and I hope to see you again for sure. It is late, man. Get some rest. So Felix says, gonna head out and get some work. Best of luck, 72. Felix, thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. That's awesome. Ramon says, Prospector Starfarer expands Hull A. Integrated mining, refining, transport, playstyles, all kind of working together. That is exactly right. Super fun stuff. Super fun stuff. Well, you guys, we're going to fly around here for another few minutes and see if we get lucky. Sometimes maybe if you just kind of say, like, you put out in the universe that, hey, I'm going to bring this to an end at some point here in the near future. Good night, James. It was, thank you for stopping in. If you kind of put out in the universe that you're like, hey man, give me that. Frosty says, how do you make money fast? I just started the game. Well, Frosty, one of the ways you can make money fast is mining. But when you just start, making money fast is not necessary. Getting kind of the skill sets you need to make the money fast is kind of going to be the order of business, right? So I would suggest, and it's not fast money, but I would suggest doing a bunch of box missions, just so you kind of see different places, you get used to the flight mechanics. From there, you may consider renting a prospector. That's one way that you can, and mine a Grisium or something like that. You could watch lots of videos on how to prospect. Obviously, bunkers. There are these all sorts of, depending on what combat ship you have, there are some, like, I forget what they're called, but where you blow up these, they're like satellites that are kind of hidden. Those particular missions don't necessarily take a really crazy ship, and you can make 20K on those. So bounty hunting is in your wheelhouse for sure. That type of thing. So I would probably say that would be one way to do it. Absolutely. If anybody else has any other suggestions too, Mad Titan says, great stream. I added you so I get notified when you're on. Looking forward to your next stream. Thank you, Mad. You know what? I really do appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And it's been a real blessing. I mean, people have really embraced the stream. I just, mining it's in my blood. I love doing it. So I think, it's a joyous thing for me to do, and I'm glad that people are coming to the stream and enjoying it as well. So if we could just find one of these great big rocks that I was looking for tonight, right? Oi, the Bungler says illegal monitors. Yeah, that's what they're called. That's right. It's the illegal monitor mission, and those are not hard to do, and you can make, I think, 20,000 doing them, and so you can string 4 or 5 of those together in a night and make 100,000 easy. And with that kind of money, then you could think about renting an ROC and a Cuddy Black. You could think about renting a prospector and doing some Agricium mining. Or you could just take that money and sink it into your combat vessel, work your way up to a little bit a better fighter and work your way up into better bounties. So there's definitely some paths there. You know, the path that I chose is I hand mined until I could ROC mine. I ROC mined until I bought my first prospector, and I prospector mined until I bought my mole. So that's the path that I took, but, you know, it was slow at first. I'm not going to lie. Ramon says, you mean the illegal monitors, 20,000 AUEC a pop, if you get them all before the timer runs down. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. It's the illegal monitors. Frosty says, what are some good planets or places you can hand mine on? You can hand mine. One of the places is on Daymar at the Kudra mine ore. It says closed. Here's a cluster, you guys. We're gonna look at this cluster. And so yeah, that would be one place that you could do it. You also can just get the cave missions. Like if you get the if you fly near to like Daymar, or you fly near like Hurston, or you fly near Lyria, or one of those places, you definitely can. I think Daymar is where I did most of mine though. Where you fly to Daymar and then you look at the investigation missions, and one of them will say like, you know, you got to find somebody in a cave. And those are the ones that I did for hand mining. So then it will just kind of give you a pip and you can fly to the cave. And then you can, you know, obviously if you fly to Kudra Mine ore, that looks like a good sized rock, to be honest with you. That's an 8207. Too bad it's at a 2%. That is, you know, not a bad rock, but, you know, not what we're looking for. Another good sized chunk of rock right there. 4,600 at 2%. So yeah, Daymar is a very good place to hand mine on. That's where I cut my teeth, is Daymar. Frosty, I hope that helps. I would hand mined again on Daymar any day of the week. I love Daymar. Now the one thing I will say, you might want to consider getting a Pembroke suit, but you don't need it once you get underground. And you won't need it in a limited time you land your ship and run into the cave. So yeah, you fly to Daymar. When you're kind of orbiting Daymar, you look for investigation missions. You find the one that says, look, you know, the guys got lost in a cave, and then you pick that mission, and then you fly down to that mission, and then that's going to be a cave where you can hand mine in. And some tips and tricks about hand mining, Frosty: don't lay down. You know, really be careful. Take your time going through there. You'll actually miss a lot of stuff if you're going too fast. Caves are very, very geographically challenged. And so if you start laying down and doing kind of weird clipping things, you definitely will fall through the planet a lot. And that can be a little bit painful. So make sure you kind of take your time in those, walk slow, that type of thing. Ramon says, actually, Space Shorts doing these illegal monitors ain't a bad idea. Maybe help to get the RC core. Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're not hard missions, and at 20,000 a pop, you can do a bunch of them, and then in a night you can easily knock down 100,000. Leo Spencer, not a name I recognize. It says, I've been watching you a long time on commutes. Keep it up, great content. I'll see you in the verse. Leo, thank you for that. That's very kind of you. I do love it when people, and there are a lot of people who watch or who listen to my to the streams as kind of like a podcast. And I really am. That really that really makes me happy. I think it makes me happy that people listen to it in that capacity, and it does work. It's just something to do on those long commutes. I definitely understand that. Hey, you guys, I got a little funny there. Hit the wrong button, trying to pivot on these doublers. Kind of rolled the old prospector over for a second. Alrighty, let's go in here. We're crossing our fingers here, hoping in this wee hour we could, It's getting kind of late, but I really would like to find one. There it is. We found it. We did find it, you guys. Yay! We found it. We looked so hard for this particular rock right here. It looks a little funny of a rock, too. But look, this is the one, you guys. This is the 8278 at 27.7%. So we called it. We did. I'm going to go right over here. I'm going to land. Let me pivot on this guy. Weird looking rock. This is the one we've been looking for. Sorry that I sound so ridiculously happy, but this is the rock we've been looking for all night. We're going to stick a couple of things on this thing. I can see my gears already down. I'm going to scooch off to this side. I am going to go ahead and set this guy down. We found the rock we've been looking for, you guys. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm really proud of the other rocks we broke tonight. We broke a 7500 at 20 20.98% and a 6700 at 26%. But this 8200 at 27%, this is the big challenge. Like Space Dad says, the big mammoth jam I've been looking for tonight. Just because I really want to see if we can break something like this. Now I'm going to be attaching multiple. I'm actually going to be attaching multiple things on this. So the first one I'm going to grab is here in the Prospector. I am going to grab one of the wave shifts, and so let's put that on there first. And let me go ahead and we'll go out there and put this on the rock. So I'm so happy, you guys. Cody Hollow, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. He says, what stage is this in Star Citizen? This is my first stream ever for the game that I'm watching. Well, welcome aboard, first of all. Second of all, this is 3.17, or the PTU, or the Public Test Universe. So this isn't the normal, this is kind of like the advanced version that's coming. Look at this nice flat area here. And so that's what we're doing, some testing with these mining gadgets, which is this thing right here. Let me do that again. This thing right here is something that's not in the current version. And so I want to get nice and close. I'm going to go ahead and place this guy. All right, we got that guy planted. And so my best is I got to get some shut-eye in the UK as well. Enjoyed your stream, liked and subbed. No problem whatsoever. What in the heck? Why am I... It's like kind of some lag there. I will definitely get this Waveshift kind of dialed in here. One says, your accent, Space Shores, which part of the state do you hail from? I am from Michigan. That's where, northern Michigan. Up here in northern Michigan is where I hail from. And a lot of people, it's so funny, a lot of people do recognize kind of the Michigan accent. So... all right, you guys. So I got to figure out which way to spin, which way to kind of get the propagation going. So that's 60%. All right, 60. And now I got to get the axial scanner there. Oh, what is going on? We got to find the... oh, okay. Hold on. All right. We just got to keep on kind of dialing this guy in. It's being a little wonky when you try to look in there. It occasionally kind of freaks out. Oh, okay, so there we are. We're getting into the 90% now. There's 97, 98. We'll go ahead and activate on 98. Now I'm actually gonna do this a little different. So just kind of let me look back at the stream here. Brianna Joy, I see you're on 3.17. Brianna, welcome to the channel. How are you tonight? Frosty says, how long have you been playing Star Citizen? 1 year and 6 months, believe it or not. That's how long I've been playing Star Citizen. I have been mining pretty much the entire time, prospector mining for the most part. I did a lot of hand mining early. And then I did a lot of ROC mining. But for the last year or so, I've been primarily prospector mining. So I'm going to go right for the... I'm also going to sneak an Optimax on this. I'm loading this big guy up. I'm kind of having some fun with this one, you guys. So I'm putting 3 different mining gadgets on this thing. I'm just going to have some fun with this. This is kind of what I wanted to... This is a big part of what I wanted to do tonight. So I've got the Waveshift on there already. And now I'm going to come back over here, and I am going to, right next, not terribly close, but over here, kind of in a similar area, I'm gonna load this one. This is awesome. I'm putting all the bells and whistles on this guy. Now, would you normally do this? Probably not. I'm just being honest. You probably wouldn't do this normally, but you know what? You can do this, and so I thought it would be fun. I'm going to go ahead and do this. All right, let's get this stuff going here. What's going on here? Why isn't this... Oh, I'm trying to move the wrong thing. Silly me. All right, the axial scatter got it pretty good there. Let's go ahead and move this around a little bit. Oh boy. All right, what about this? Ooh, 98 right there, 97. We're gonna activate that guy. All right, so now we've got the the optimum on there, and we do have the Waveshift on there. And I might try and lift off and try and see if we can break this guy with just the 2. But I also have the ace in the hole, the Boremax, if we can't put any, you know, if we can't seem for whatever reason to put any energy into it. I do have one more ace in the hole, which is the Boremax, which will bring down the resistance by 75%. And you know, I'm just gonna go for it. What the heck, you know? We've already broke some awesome rocks tonight. Let's go ahead and just kind of let's equip this one too. Let's just stick it on there. Let's just have some fun. You know, why not? That's what we're here for, right? So yeah. This is great. Look at that. I mean, just the frame of when you looked out the window of, you know, looking across over, looking over in that direction. It's just crazy. This game is nuts. All right, so here we have the Waveshift. Here we have the Optimax, and one just because we're having fun with this, we're also gonna. Let's also stick a Boremax on here. Now, would you normally do this, have heavens and stars? I mean, you could, and you could come and recover every one of these, and it would be just fine. Would you normally do this? I don't know. Oh boy, this guy's kind of off the beaten path here. Oh, hold on. Let's kind of. Ooh, hold on. 93. 96. We'll take 96. All right, so we've got the trifecta on there. You know, I'm gonna grab a screenshot of that too. See if I can get all of the lights glowing at once. You know, we got them all. We got them all on there. Ooh, look at the sunset, you guys, right over the top of the Prospector. Oh my stars in heaven! In this beautiful world that we get to explore. Yay! All right, we're gonna jump back up on the Prospector. Now, this has been a very long stream tonight, and I have really enjoyed all this. Cody Hollow says, this is really cool. I'm subbed from a fellow Midwesterner. Thanks for the Midwestern space. Yeah, you know, you can definitely call me out as a Midwesterner. That's for sure. I appreciate that, Cody, for sure. And if it's code, please do forgive me. Let me know if it's code or Cody. All right, so are we going to be able to crack an 8200 mass? I don't know. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I don't. We'll find out. We put all of the bells and every single bit of bells and whistles we could put on there. We put on there, though. Let's go ahead and crank it up. And let's get into a good optimal range. And let's just see how it goes. It fell out, so it's hard. It's leading me to believe that probably this is a bridge too far. Maybe. Oh, hey, there's some charge level getting in there, though. It did take a server tick or so before the resistance fell the last couple times I've applied it. So, I mean, there is some charge level getting in there. Let's just kind of, we'll agitate a bit. Oh, it fell out. This is a big, I mean, this is a huge rock. I wasn't expecting to be able to do rocks this size. So we'll go ahead and keep trying to see if we can build a little energy into this guy. But this definitely could be a bridge too far. This is a big rock with a big percentage. And so, you got this? Believe in the mighty Prospector. Yeah, I hear you. Well, I mean, we attached everything. Now, I didn't attach the Sabir on there. I definitely can run out. We'll go do that too. We'll put a Sabir on there as well if we have to. That will drop the instability down significantly. See if we can just find a spot on the rock where it gets a little... This would be that spot where you'd like... You really want to try and... Let me see if... Oh, we got the power. I'm wondering if we can overclock the Lancet. Oh, we just overclocked. You could not overclock on in 3.16. That just blows my mind that overclock happened. Wow. In 3.16, the UI was so weird, it would not allow you to overclock the Lancet. That is a huge piece of information, you guys. Overclocking the Lancet is something that you could not do before. Look at the resistance, you guys. It fell to 0.5. Okay, so every time the server ticks, it's applying another one of those. It's applying another one of those mining gadgets. The resistance fell to 0.05. It started out higher than that. So between, this is just fantastic. I'm going to wipe a tear out of my eye. This is an 8278. We've got the overclock on the Lancet going. Like, you can't overclock in 3.16. I mean, we've got three mining gadgets on this thing, and we are climbing. Power is climbing on this 8278. This could actually happen. Look how, guys, look how big the optimal window is. I mean, this is just fantastic. 8278 at 27.74%. It is climbing. You know, we definitely got resistance in that thing at 0.05. So it's you know, we may get this thing. Now, it could take a little while. But the fact that you can actually, the UI is so broken in 3.16, you can't overclock the Lancet. That's the first time I've overclocked the Lancet, and I don't know how long. I mean, since 3.15, I think. You know, so that in and of itself is an amazing thing. I am gonna freak out if we can crack this rock. This is awesome. This is fantastic. Oi says you could put a second Boremax. I haven't. You're absolutely right. I could put another Boremax on there if I needed it. You know, I absolutely could put another Boremax on there. I got a Sabir on board too. I could stick one of those on there. But I think we're going to get it with these three. I do. It's climbing. We're already at 50%. We are able to overclock. It is climbing. It's taking time, but it is building it in there. Code says, I don't know what is happening, but I can't stop watching. Cody, you can't crack, in 3.16, you can't crack a bigger rock than 5900 with this laser that I have on board. The laser that I have on board is really good at dealing with the instability of this particular, the geological structure. This is a very unstable rock. And so you can't break anything over a 5900 mass. Now those mining gadgets are new that I just stuck on the side of the rock. Those are new in 3.17, and you're able to break this huge rock with just your solo prospector is pretty amazing. Now it's falling down here, you guys. I don't like that. Kind of, you know, it was going for a while though, up. So let's just kind of see if it. Seems like it's starting to fall out for some reason. Like, isn't that weird how it was building up and now it's just kind of falling out? Ah, don't forget to hit like. Thank you very much, Elson. I appreciate that. Oh, you guys, what the heck? As if to snuff out my joy. What? I wonder, like, yeah, it's so hard to say. Yeah, it's a good question, Brianna. Brianna says, I wonder if it just kind of, if it takes too long, if something happens. Like, it almost makes me wonder if maybe if that third one ticked and Like, if I would have maybe put 2 on there first, you know, there's something happened there. Now here it comes back up, you know, a little bit, but I have more of these things. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna put another. I'm gonna go put another Boremax on there. Oh, that was silly of me. Oh, you can see. Look at, you can see the 3 symbols down there too. So weird. Did the mining gadgets expire? That's a good question. Surge module, yeah, of course, yeah. If I had surges, absolutely, you know. But the whole concept of what I'm trying to do is do these without surges, Oi. But I definitely understand what you mean. Of course, wonder if the gadgets have a timer or a limiter on them. Yeah, it's a good question. It just seemed like there was a moment when it just kind of ticked, and it seemed like it was gonna work, and now it doesn't seem like it's gonna. And so, you know, I'm just kind of letting it just kind of do its thing here for a moment. It is funny how it's building the energy back in there, but it totally fell out before, so. Just going to give it a little bit more time and see what happens here. And I definitely may go stick another Waveshift on there, you know, out of curiosity. Look at it build back up again. It's so funny that it would build up, you know, like that high and then fall all the way back out. Oh, where can you buy a surge module? You can buy the surges. I believe the surges are at ArcL1. I think it's the Stampedes that are at HURL1. You guys, look, it's like it's building back up again. I mean, now it's 50%. I don't know what. It's so strange that it fell out for a moment, but now it's, you know, it's pushing up again. I'm at a good range. I'm certainly not going to move anywhere. It just seems like it's cooking in there a little bit. I don't really have a good reason why it got to like about where it's at. I think it was about where it was at now when it started falling out before. But it does seem to be climbing. So really strange. Honestly, the rocks don't normally kind of act that way. Hard to say. Look, it's like it just had scanning again for a second. So strange. Alright, it's pushing up. It's trying to push up. It is interesting. Now, see, it's starting to fall out again. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of some kind of a timing pulse where it like climbs up and then falls down. That's so interesting. Ramon says, not strange at all. I think it's following the number of gadgets. One is done. It's using another. Very well. It's hard to say. Draconian says it's an alien rock. It's acting very alien, that's for sure. Boy, the Bumbler says, love when the rock starts making that rumbling noise. Yeah, it's definitely making that noise. But look at that, you guys. It climbed up to like 70-ish or 60-ish, and now it's kind of fallen, you know, working. It's falling back out again for max hour. I got like an inch away. Yeah, I do that too. I definitely am not as close as I could be. You know, lots of times I do, like I kind of agitate like I'm doing right now. just kind of monkeying around with it. I might just go attach another. What should I attach? Should I put another Waveshift on it? Good question. Another Boremax? Good question. Well, let's think about this for a sec. We'll kind of pull away from the rock. I mean, it definitely gave me the impression like it was going to break there for a moment, but it just didn't. Yeah, we don't need the light on there. Okay, we'll kind of bring this guy down. I don't know, you guys. What if you use 3 of the same gadget? It's hard to say. All right, we're down right there, right? We'll turn off the engines. Turn the engines back on and got out of the seat. That was silly of me. I'm going to jump right back in the seat and turn the engines off because that was not super smooth on my part. But, you know, I just kind of thinking in my mind, what other gadget do I want to stick on here? I have a Sabir, which I haven't put on there yet. Oh, the engines are off. Okay, good. I have another Boremax, which I could put on there. Interesting choices. I have a Waveshift I could put on there. Let's think about this a sec. Of course, the Boremax is the negative 75% resistance. Optimal charge rate. It's just going to slow down the optimal charge rate. The overcharge rate plus... Yeah, I think we could do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do another Boremax. You'd think that would be the one that would really kind of knock the resistance down again. Yeah, I have one I haven't put on there, the Sabir, you know, and I could try that one too. Look at this plethora of mining gadgets we have on here, though. There's 3. Oh my stars! You would never do that. I mean, obviously, never do this in for reals. I don't think. I mean, you could recover them. I mean, it's a heck of a rock. I might. All right, let's get it. Let's let it scan here. We'll do the propagation. Oh, propagated right to activate. All right. All right. we stuck another one on there. Oh, that sky looks so beautiful. Oh my stars. All right, we'll give her a try. This is awesome. All right, we're going to fire up the old engine here. All right, laser out. %% laser. You can see the resistance is 0.02. It's definitely gone down. I don't know if it's gone down enough. Yeah, treat it like pizza. Just load that sucker up. That's right. I'm not going to use one. I'm not sure what's going on. I only ever minded one time. Yeah, that's funny. Well, normally, you know, you could just never break a side. Nowhere under, you know, it'd take 2 mole lasers or 2 prospector lasers to work together to break this guy down. So we're just going to kind of see how it goes. We've got 2 Boremaxes, 1 Waveshift, and 1 Optimax. Rand Joyce says, do you think they have diminishing returns when you add more? I would really think that they would have something like that, Brianna. That's an excellent question. And, of course, I mean, obviously that's a reasonable question. Should a prospector be able to break an 8278? Yeah, who knows? I mean, they certainly could have diminishing returns. Oh, the resistance went down to 0.01. That's funny. Moises, you got yourself out of cluster, yeah. There's the, you guys can repair the, you can repair the oxygen things in there too, and that's a fast way to get out. Very interesting. Just doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it. But we're just going to keep trying here. Gotta keep the faith a little bit. Mining difficulty. You're trying to crack something you're not supposed to be able to crack, sir. I would say this is probably a bridge too far, you guys. Honestly. Now, I could run out there and stick some more stuff on there. I might stick a severe on there and bring the instability down significantly. But, the resistance I have at 0.01, I can't imagine you're going to get the resistance too much less than that. Just doesn't look like we're going to be able to do this one. Well, that's a good thing to know. So we broke tonight a 7600 at 20.89% and a 6700 at 27%. But we are definitely not able to do this 8278 at 27%. I could go stick a Sabir on there or another Waveshift just for some fun. And I may, just because I have them here, and we're here. And it is funny how it was able to build up to like 50% before it fell out. Like that was, it really did look like that at that one point. It looked like it was really going to climb up there and do it. But it just doesn't look like it's going to do it. In all honesty, like I said, it should you be able to break rocks this big, but with a single prospector? Heck, I don't know. It's fun though. Yeah, you can recover them after the break. Yep. Great question, Dragon Master. Dragon Master's like, when do you cover? I recovered one earlier, and then on the second break, I couldn't find it. So one of them I was able to recover tonight, and one of them I wasn't. I've got 4 different ones attached to this huge rock, and. People do think that. Oy's asking, can you hit a fault line and is it better? People definitely think that way for sure. What's funny is, like, as I've gotten further away from the rock, too, it seems like sometimes it's gotten, which is weird, because that's not a meta that it normally goes with. But let's see if we can find, quote-unquote, those fault lines like you're talking about. Here's another thing that we've done in the past, this articulation over large parts of the rock. Look at this. Very interesting. Well, what on earth, you guys? Come on, get up into the optimal. Why is this working? Oh, I don't know. It's so funny. Come on. Well, that might go up. Nope. All right. I want to kind of get down close though and keep it kind of close. Isn't it funny that resistance has gone back up to 0.2? So strange. I wonder what's affecting it. Look at the instability. Yeah, it does make me wonder if there's a shelf life on those. Look at the instability. Oh, now it's to 1 again. So it's like it almost takes a little bit of time, I think, for the brand or the Lancet to kind of, you know. This is a lot of work. This is funny. If Archer was here, he'd be laughing so hard at this. He'd be like, "What are you doing?" Here it comes again. Let's see here if we can get it to go up some more. kind of an optimal range here that seems to be working really well. Yeah, the laser's definitely still overclocked. Alright, we're starting to get back up into the area again, you guys. I really do want to... really would like to break this rock. What a fight so far, you guys. Oh boy. Keeping it in that high part of the optimal. I turned it back a ton. It's really going through the green slow. Now it's starting to dive. Up, 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 up. I want to keep it towards the top part of that if I can. Back down again significantly. Come on, don't stay up in there like that. Wow! We're holding it. Legendary break, you guys. This is awesome. Wow. So agitating was like agitating just worked. And agitating is something that we had to do a long time ago on rocks. You know, I remember agitating a lot. Like, you guys, that was an 8,000 pound rock. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, we did it. You know, we absolutely did it. We broke an 8,200 rock, mass rock. Now, there were four mining gadgets I'm going to go try and recover now. That is awesome. That is just fantastic. And I'm so sorry I got quiet there, you guys. It's just crazy. You know, I honestly didn't think it was going to break. We kind of stayed on it and just we broke it. It's just we did it. So we broke an 8. We just, you know, legendary. That's a legendary break in a miner for a miner right there. That is a fantastic break. I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah. So let's go try and recover some mining gadgets and see how many of these we can find. That is fantastic. Yeah, she gave up the goods. She did, Elsa, for sure. That is something special. So one for the ages right there. For sure. Selwyn's Hendricks says, way to go. Thank you. Soul Brother, welcome to the channel. How you guys doing? Not names I recognize. You know, this is a Lancet MH1, and we just broke an 80, you know, an 8,300 rock with, you know, at 27%. And I'm looking around for my gadgets, and I don't see them anywhere. Now, they do have a flat... Oh, hey, look at that. It's kind of moving around a little bit. Now, they do have a light on them. I'm going to go ahead and turn the light off on the Prospector. I can actually see one of the lights in here. I can see kind of a funny color light. But, you know, because they have lights on them, I am going to turn off the light on the Prospector. I thought that might be helpful, but maybe it's not. So let's go ahead and turn off the headlight on the Prospector and see if we see one of those things. All 4 of those mining gadgets I had attached, should have a blink on them. Exactly what Brianna Joy saying, they should blink red. She's absolutely right. The successful man has failed more times than failure has tried. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a great saying too. That was crazy cool. My goodness, and I actually, I got so quiet there for a minute because I was like, especially after the agitation started working, because that's an interesting use case. I mean, that is crazy. So, all right, let's turn this off. Look there are no lights out there at all. That's funny. Of course, we do have the light on the gray cat. We can absolutely turn that on. So it's not like we're going to be out there in the dark. Frosty says, would you say the Avenger Titan is a good ship I should buy it? I think the Avenger Titan's a fine ship. I think Frosty, did you mention earlier that you had the Aurora? That is a very, very nice, beginning ship, but the Titan is a good ship to go up to. Now look, you guys, there's no flashing red lights at all here. Absolutely not anywhere. All 4 of those gadgets have been, have given up the ghost, it would appear. I'm gotta be careful, I might clip funny. Yep, they are squished. That's exactly right, Jack. They didn't get squished. That is so funny. Wow, that is a legendary break, though. Holy beautiful. That is a legendary break. Yeah, and Elson's absolutely right. The Avenger Titan is easily, I shouldn't say easily. It really depends on what you want to do. That's the wrong words. The Avenger Titan is, I think, considered by many the best starter ship. And for its price, you really can't. There's, the price, the performance per dollar for the Titan Avenger is really fantastic. Yeah, you really can't go wrong especially if you're upgrading from your, say, Aurora to the Avenger. I think it's like $10 or $15 more, and it's worth all that and then some. So, absolutely worth that and then some. Yeah, the sky is really beautiful. You're absolutely right. And it is an amazing starter ship. It is. It's a fantastic starter ship. Well, you guys, that was special. Real special. That was the biggest rock I've ever broke easily with the Prospector solo. Not even close. And we'll hey, what's going on here? Why does that look so silly? We'll kind of pivot on this guy, and we will head on. And I am going to head back over to Arc L1, and we'll probably think about logging off. And so yeah, it's a great multi-purpose ship for sure. Selwyn is absolutely right. I will say, you guys, most of the time, and as most of you know, or for those of you who are familiar to the stream, most of the time we just Quantanium mine. I mean, for the most part, we Quantanium mine. We teach Quantanium mining. We do some hand mining and some ROC mining, but for the most part, we, on the channel here, I mostly teach about the meta for prospecting in Quantanium mining. The Prospector is my favorite ship. I absolutely love mining in Star Citizen, and so I would encourage any of you who haven't liked and subbed, please do like and sub the channel. I've seen so many new faces today. It's been great. It's been a wonderful stream. I will throw a couple of shameless plugs in there. We do have an awesome app. It's on the Google Play Store. There's a link in the description. It's called QuantCalc, and it's a super cool $1 app that you can put in the mass of the rock and the percentage of Quantanium, and it will tell you how much SCU is in the rock. You also can do that over a series of rocks. So if you let's say you find a cluster, you can put in like 3 or 4 rocks, and then we'll add up the entire mass for the entire cluster. Then you can actually generate this little number And if somebody else has that QuantCalc, you can give them that number and they can punch it into their QuantCalc and they can see the cluster that you're looking at. So for instance, on our mining nights, when our scouts find a cluster, they just go through QuantCalc. They just punch in the masses and the percentages, like 3, 4, 5 rocks, and then they just put in the number. And then once that you can take that number and it will show you all of the rocks in that cluster. So it's a great way for an organization to share when somebody finds a cluster. They don't have to necessarily, they can just give you one number to represent everything that's in that cluster. And you can use QuantCalc to kind of look at it, and it's like, you know, so you can kind of organize your teams or whatever. We do a lot of theory crafting on mining organization nights. You know, about what the best meta is. Like for instance, recently we've been using 2 prospectors. We prioritize scouting. Everybody scouts until you find the stuff to mine. Once you find the stuff to mine, you have teams of 2, you know, multiple teams, but teams of 2 prospectors breaking. So you have 2 prospectors to do the breaking. Those same prospectors will actually, if there's big pieces of inert, will scoop those up. Maybe grab just 1 or 2 units of Quantanium and jettison that crap out when they don't need it. That will allow our moles to come in and just be primarily kitted for scooping. So, you know, for instance, we're pulling in like sometimes 400 or 500 SCU in a couple hours. You know, very, very, you know, I mean, you know, so that type of stuff, we love doing, you know, kind of theory crafting on some of the, on big kind of mining operations, that type of thing. You know, Spectre Fleet is a little bit more about, like, the organization is a little more combat and intelligence orientated, but we have a very strong industrial wing as well. So, you know, an absolutely fantastic group of division leaders. And so, yeah, we're really, you know, really blessed in that regard. So, you know, like I said, I mentioned QuantCalc, I mentioned Spectre Fleet. I always like to do that. Watch this. This is my favorite part of 3.17, you guys. I'm just going to hit the delete key. I just hit delete.
Please proceed to assign landing bay.
I just hit the delete key and one just button tap and I got myself a, look at that. That's my favorite part of this patch. I like that more than the mining gadgets. You know, just one button push. Brianna, thank you so much for saying that you're enjoying the content. I really appreciate it. Brianna, I've really also appreciated your contributions to the, you know, to the folks that come in. That's been fantastic. Raymond, you know, yeah, I thank you for sharing your experiences with some of the new players as well. That's been fantastic. Lots of new faces tonight. I've really enjoyed tonight's stream. The channel's growing in leaps and bounds, and that's because you folks come and make it a way cooler place than I could ever make it. So, you know, I always like to say the coffee's been great, the Quantanium's been fantastic, the mining's been wonderful, the company has been better. It absolutely has been a wonderful night with you guys. So, I'm going to run in here and I'll store the ship and kind of do a final sign-off. You know, I always do this. Look at this. Look at the UI. It's gotten sideways, you guys. What on earth is happening here? It's so strange. Like, is my helmet on funny? Like, I noticed that. Like, look. Look at that. Why is the UI like that? What on earth is happening? So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not going to take my helmet. I'm going to check to make sure I have my helmet on. I do. I can see it through the... That is so funny, you guys. What on earth is going on with the UI? Drax says, I think I'd like being a part of the breaking team. I could run out and blow chunks and let someone else come pick it. Yeah, that's exactly right, Drax. You'll be... someday when we convert you from ED over to Star Citizen, you can come do that for sure. Let's look at the UI. No, hey, the UI straightened out now. I don't know what was going on with the UI while I was in there. It's the PTU. Yep, absolutely. That's a great point, Philip. Philip, you're still hanging out. Philip, you've been a wonderful, you know, thank you for all your contributions tonight as well. I learned, first of all, I learned something from you. Second of all, it was very kind of you to offer up, you know, spending some time putting in, you know, putting in the pathing to where that cache folder needed to be deleted out of. That's, you know, like I said, these are the kinds of things that just make that fill me with joy. Drax says, "This is a crick in your neck from twisting up to see the screens." Yeah. I would be 3.17 without a glitch or two. Absolutely agree with that. I hope to do some more 3.17 streaming tomorrow night. We'll have to see how things go. I don't have a regular schedule for streaming. It's just when life lets me. But I will tell you, I am on a pretty big push. Just recently because, the channel's been doing so well. It's been so enjoyable for me to do. And so I definitely hope that we get a chance to spend some time together tomorrow. And so this is kind of how I like to do my sign off here, you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do is kind of take my mouse, and the trick is take my mouse and then pretend like I'm actually talking to you when I move my head. So anyways, thank you all so much. This was great. Anthony Shaddix, thanks so much. Great show. Congrats on history making. Yeah, I appreciate that. One says, Brianna, you mean it would be Star Citizen without a glitch or two? That's absolutely right. It's been a great stream. I get to wear my favorite gray cat armor because, if I lose it in the PTU, it doesn't matter. This is my favorite color of gray cat. I love the hazard stuff, and I like the orange, but I'd always wear the silver if I could. And so, you guys, thank you for joining. I will actually put some time links in the top of if you ever want to come back and say, no, I promise you he broke with a Lancet, an overclock Lancet, which, by the way, that's a huge thing. I will put those links of the 3 breaks that I made tonight, timestamps in the top of the description. So thank you all so much. Have a lovely evening. Tomorrow is the middle of the week, so hopefully we'll get a chance to hang out again together. Have a beautiful night. I will wish you all the very best, and we'll see you all around the verse.